The Canyon Cougars come south on I-35 to Hero Stadium for their final tune-up before district play starts next week. While showing improvements in all aspects of the game last week, the Cougars are still searching for consistency and their first win of 2017. Also looking for their first win, tonight's opponent, the Madison Mavericks, a once-proud program in the greater San Antonio area that has fallen on harder times recently, also searching for answers before their district schedule begins in 2 weeks. It's the Canyon Cougars and the Madison Mavericks coming up next across the Cougars Network. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Hero Stadium on the corner of Thousand Oaks and Wurzbach Parkway in San Antonio, Texas. I am Ben Campos, joined by my broadcast partner this evening, Roland Ruiz. The Governor, Austin Milam, our spotter statistician. Well, Roland, we were looking for improvement from week 1 to week 2 last week for the Canyon Cougars. We saw that largely on both sides of the football, offensively and defensively. This offense, after 2 weeks under Trenton Kirkland's scheme, saw some improvement, got close to 400 yards of total offense. And one thing I think we found out, Roland, Seth Haney can be that workhorse at running back.
You know, you're right. And not only that, but of course, countering with Xavier there at quarterback, what a tandem they're making. Xavier's starting to use the run to kind of open up and find his receivers a little bit more. The proof is going to come in finalizing these drives and finally sticking it into the end zone, and that's where it's all got to come together for the Cougars this evening. Yeah,
a number of those 400 yards of total offense came in long drives, and Canyon just coughing up the football once they got in the red zone. One thing that I saw that I liked from this Cougar offense last week, Roland, is getting Trevor Pape more involved in the offensive scheme.
Absolutely. Pape had a good amount as I check out his catches. Pape hauled in 7 last week, as I see, for right around 64, 65 yards. He was a very integral part of the offense, and they're using him perfectly. They're using him right when they need him to capitalize on situations.
They wanted to get him more involved, and they did. 7 catches, a career high for Trevor Pape last week versus San Marcos. Roland, a good problem we had in that ball game is figuring out who to award player of the game to. There was a lot of standout players in that ball game. Fabian Facundo goes both ways. He was our Ironman workhorse, and what a game he had. I think trying to get him more involved offensively while saving his legs so he could play well on defense is going to be a challenge, but again, a good problem for Canyon to have.
Absolutely. I love those players that can play on both sides of the football, both offensively and defensively, as Fabian did and is continuing to do. It's just going to open up more opportunities for him to play if Fabian decides to take it beyond this level into the collegiate level.
Had 3 touches last week versus San Marcos, 72 yards of offense and 2 touchdowns, 1 through the air and 1 on the ground. Let's switch over to the other side of the football. Roland, again, having trouble figuring out who was going to be player of the game. Yes, we had Fabian Facundo also for his defensive efforts, but how about the defensive line play, not only from Josh Heiser, but what we're seeing in this young season out of Eric Taylor?
You can't get a ball in the air last week. It seems like that Eric didn't put up that big paw and swat it away. What a game defensively last week from Eric Taylor. We're going to have to see more of that this week and throughout the season. Just his tenacious pursuit and his presence of mind for getting those hands up and swatting at that football.
Also had a blocked extra point last week versus San Marcos. That's Roland Ruiz. I am Ben Campos alongside Austin Milam, our spotter statistician. Good to have you with us on a beautiful Friday night in San Antonio, Texas. We're going to take a break here on the Cougars Network. When we come back, Brant Freeman had an opportunity to sit down with Cougars head coach Joe Muchagimba. We'll bring you Brant's conversation with Coach on the other side of these words. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, Frost Bank, Nissan of New Braunfels, Wick Productions, Ashley, Zaxby's, and Texas Tractor Country.
Where Zaxby's is from, everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And now you'll like it even more because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor.
All right, we are back for Cougars football with Joe Muchagimba coming up this Friday at Canyon on the road in San Antonio at Hero Stadium to take on the Madison Mavericks. Madison is off to an 0-2 start this season, but the last game the Mavericks played an overtime affair against Warren, losing 49-48 in a shootout in San Antonio. Coach, 0-2 the record, but you know that Madison much better than that would show.
There's no question. You know, they played a couple of tough opponents. You know, we were there last night and watched it, and that's kind of, you know, they got down early, got down 14-0 early on, but they got some, you know, they got some big playmakers on that side of the ball, so they jumped back in it pretty quick. So they're 0-2, but it'll be a tough ball game.
The quarterback, Dante Hagens, the dual threat quarterback, put up good numbers against Warren, ran for over 200 yards, threw for over 100 as well. Does he play similar style to what you saw last week in Prudy Calderon of San Marcos?
No doubt, no doubt. We'll see a lot of the same things, a lot of the same run game. You know, when they're throwing the football, if you cover him up really good, well, that's great, you cover him, but now he's going to tuck the thing and try to find some creases and hurt you that way. They're going to put it in his hands, and they're going to make you stop him.
Now, defensively, a bit suspect this season. They gave up 49 to Warren, 36 the week prior against a good Steel football team. Right. But one thing about Madison, we know this, they're never lacking in athleticism on that side of the football. What are you expecting to see from the Mavericks defense?
Well, they're like anybody else. You know, they're 0-2, but you know, we are too. You know, everybody's working and trying to get their maybe get their personnel right on the field and get the little things fixed that aren't correct at this point in the season. Everybody's working to get better.
You saw Madison a year ago at Cougar Stadium, and you saw them quite a bit during your time as an assistant at Smithson Valley. What impressions do you have of their program as a whole?
Well, they're headed in the right direction. You know, they got a new head coach over there, Coach Peterson, that moved over from Johnson. You know, he was a defensive coordinator there before he came over. So, you know, he's trying to kind of get his stamp on things. It's a different style of offense for him than what Coach Campbell ran. And defensively, it's a whole different system that they're running also. So they'll continue to get better. All
right, Coach, break it down for us. What are some of the keys that you need to have that work out in your favor to get a win on Friday?
Well, you know, we talk about the big fours, you know, in our field house. You know, we got to get out there and really do well in the kicking game, you know, control some field position things, create field position for us. You know, we got to cut down on big plays, and we got to have more on our side of the ball. Control the turnovers and the penalties. You know, we control those things. You know, it's easier said than done, but that's what we're going to the ball game trying to do.
Well, Coach, good luck on Friday.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it.
Tom Brady, that's a mic drop.
This is football, and this is how it is.
Let's just get right to it.
Start your game day with Game Day Morning, football's first pregame show every Sunday.
Watch NFL Network, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 579. GVTC, just plain smart.
Welcome back to Heroes Stadium. The Madison Maverick Marching Band finishing up their alma mater. It's a beautiful night here in San Antonio. The downside of being on the press box side is you get the sunset going behind you, but a lot of the reflective colors going off of the visiting stands on the far side, Toyota Field, home of San Antonio FC soccer team. It's a wonderful setting for high school football here in San Antonio. Kickoff moments away between the Canyon Cougars and the Madison Mavericks. And Roland, let's talk about these Madison Mavericks. Perhaps Cougar fans could sympathize with what they're going through right now. They had their coach, John Campbell, resign in the spring before going into this football season. So new head coach Blaine Peterson comes in March, has the unique job of not only trying to install a new offense and a new defense, but also just trying to learn the names of your players. Had a conversation with him earlier in the week, and he said we even through fall camp had trouble figuring out who not only the personnel was going to be based upon the starting lineup, but who the personnel is, what is their name, what is who are their parents and stuff like that. The Cougars could sympathize with that. It's pretty similar how Joe Muchagimba came to Canyon kind of at the last second.
You know, and that's very true. A coach comes in with new ideals, as you were mentioning, doesn't know his players. What kind of scheme is he going to use? Who are the players that are going to fit into his scheme? And that's always tough, especially for a new coach putting his staff together. And, I guess they say that the Mavericks could be going through growing pains right now.
And really, when you talk about high school teams in the greater San Antonio area, through the 90s, through the turn of the millennium, and for a decade after that, if you were to mention coaching stability, ironically, it would have been here at Madison. Jim Streety, having been here as long as he was, retired from Northeast Independent School District to take a job at New Braunfels High School as the athletic director. And since then, the Mavericks have been kind of wandering the desert. You talk to Coach Blaine Peterson. He wants to get that stability back as he is in it for the long haul at Madison. As mentioned, the Mavericks are trying to implement a new offense. Rolling. They want to go up tempo, they want to go no huddle, but perhaps not the type of up tempo, no huddle that you're used to in high school football. They want to keep it on the ground.
Well, and as we were mentioning, a new scheme, a new coach, it's a new offense they're going to have to get used to for years and years, as you were mentioning, under Jim Streety. What a program this was altogether. I mean, Madison was just synonymous with the postseason, with heading, towards the state playoffs, and it's just kind of a turning of the page, kind of a newness here for the Mavericks.
You look on the sidelines, Roland, the players all look the same. They're big and they're fast. It just goes to show you how important the coaching stability is on the high school level. Again, Madison on their 4th head coach in 5 seasons with new coach Blaine Peterson. The quarterback for Madison is Dante Hagens, a 175-pound junior quarterback. He'll look to run the football, Roland. He's a big kid, and when he gets out in the open field, watch out.
And you were mentioning, you mentioned a key thing right there, that he is a junior quarterback. It's going to give the Madison coaching staff yet one more year with this young man, 1 year to teach them his system, and then by next year or possibly later on this year, we don't even have to look that far, he'll get a handle on this and get it perfected.
Well, luckily for the Madison Mavericks, the strength on their football team is their offensive line. It's a group of players that don't get a lot of recognition, but that's where the strength of this ball club is. The right tackle is Dwayne Anthony. He has D1 talent. Our spotter statistician, the Governor Austin Milan, was up in the press booth, saw some college scouts out there. That is who they are here to see, is Dwayne Anthony. But also our conversation with Coach Peterson, he said when they come looking at Dwayne Anthony, they're also looking at that offensive guard at Patrick Gray and saying, who's that kid? So a lot of talent there on that offensive line. The ROTC cadets for Madison are making their way to present the colors. That will be our cue to step aside for our national anthem. When we come back on the Cougars Network, kick off tonight's ball game between the Canyon Cougars and the Madison Mavericks. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
Experience the best seat in every ballpark with MLB Network Strike Zone. There it goes! Catch baseball's biggest moments from around the league live on one channel. You gotta be kidding me! See the clutch hits. It's a goner! Great grabs. Unbelievable! And walk-off winners. Game winner! All without changing the channel. Let's go home! Bring home MLB Network Strike Zone. Tuesday and Friday nights, commercial-free all season long.
The all-new Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. The all-new Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
What is the fastest land animal in the... Oh!
It's a cougar. It's a cougar. It's a cougar.
Get to know our Cougars in a whole new way as they take the Cougar Challenge. Who do you think actually gave the Canyon Cougars their mascot? Fun questions will bring out the real competitors in this group. So what's the math on that? Puma, mountain lion, panther, catamount, deer lion, they go on and on. How do you spell Coach Muchagamba?
Triceratops.
I bet Coach Mooch would appreciate that, huh? And then
Burns, the ring of fire. The ring of fire.
Cougars Network brings you Cougar Challenge every week, only on Cougars Football with Joe Muchagamba.
Please don't hate me if I get it wrong, Coach.
A wonderful rendition of our national anthem just played by the Madison Mavericks High School Marching Band as the ROTC cadets making their way off midfield. While we were away for the coach's interview, the captains met at midfield for the coin toss. The Mavericks won, elected to defer, so they'll be kicking right to left. Across your smartphone app, your computer, your tablet, your smart TV, however you're with us here on the Cougars Network, we thank you for being with us.
Can't use radio dial anymore, can we?
That was my go-to signature thing.
I tell you, things have changed.
Technology has yanked that from me.
Kind of like using the payphone. No such thing seems like anymore.
Artificial next turf is the field turf here at Hero Stadium. The midfield logo is a compass pointing to northeast. By the way we're looking at it, by the configuration of the field, it is in reality pointed to southeast. The end zones are painted with northeast in both end zones in white. The Mavericks in their home jerseys, white pants, burnt orange tops, white numbers, white helmets with a burnt orange block M on both sides. The Cougars come in tonight in their road jerseys, red pants, white jersey tops, red numbers, white helmet with the red bar down the middle, and the red interlocking CC on either side. As the Madison Mavericks will have the ball teed up here momentarily, Canyon will get their first crack at it to start this ball game. Having the ball teed up for the Mavericks is Graham Torres. In deep receiving for Canyon, standing back at their own end zone is Vance McKay here to the near hash, the far hash, Dallin Watanabe. The ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Great to be with you here on a beautiful mid-September Friday night in San Antonio, Texas. Unseasonably, is it okay to say unseasonably cool? I like it this cool,
for South Texas, you're absolutely right. I mean, it should be sweltering, but no, there's a nice breeze, as you were mentioning. It's a perfect night for a football game. It really is. And, of course, being out here from our vantage point, we're set up actually outside of the press box, so we've got it made. We can feel the elements, get us in that football mood.
Normally you tell me we're outside in September. I'm not okay with it, but this night is the rare exception.
Amen.
An 8-yard charge for Torres, puts his right foot into it. This game is underway as McKay comes to the near side and takes the ball at the goal line. Coming up down the near sideline across the 20 and the 25. First contact made at the 30 as he breaks off a tackle. Finally, Madison is able to corral around him, and Canyon will have decent field position. First and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Nice return that time for McKay. Brandon Bealfield came over and made the stop on special teams for the Madison Mavericks.
Our first look at Xavier Perez, the 5'11", 185-pound junior quarterback this evening, completing 59% of his passes, a 3-to-2 touchdown interception ratio on the year. Starting to feel like he's getting into his own rhythm for this young season. He has 4 wide receivers here to the near side, the short side. The lone receiver to the left is number 3, Fabian Facundo. As he gets his play in from the far sideline, comes to the line of scrimmage to give last-second orders and goes back into his shotgun position. It's a design quarterback keeper, and he has some running room up the middle across the 35. Nice play for the first play of the ball game. Out to the 39, it's a pickup of 8.
Nice run that time for Xavier. He's coming over to make the snap. That was William Smysek, a 185-pound senior linebacker.
Back to the line, the Cougars on 2nd and 2 as the handoff will go to, no, it's a fake to Haney, and Perez will take it to the left side. Goes across the 40 before being met by a host of Mavericks. Roland, I think he has enough for a first down, and he does.
And they're going to move the chains. You know, last week we were talking about San Marcos' 1-2 punch. Don't look now. It could be happening on the side of the New Braunfels Canyon Cougars, I think we're about to see here momentarily.
Approaching midfield now in the midfield circle that's used for the soccer games here at Heroes Stadium. Ball at the 41. Haney now to the left of Perez out of the gun. They fake it to Haney, go to the far sideline. The ball is caught by Facundo, who turned the corner, broke contain, goes down the sideline across the 45, just shy of the first down marker and midfield. They'll put the ball at the 48, and the Cougar offense in a rhythm wants to get up to the line again.
Yes, they do. And when they get in this quick rhythm, back set offensively, they can be dangerous.
Gain of 7 on first down. 2 receivers either way here on 2nd and 3. They fake it to Seth Haney. Up the middle is Perez on a quarterback keeper off the zone read. Gets into Maverick territory. It becomes another one of those rugby scrum type deals. Unable to get Perez down before forward progress is called. The ball is marked in Madison Maverick territory, and it is another first down for the Cougars at the 49. Keep the chains moving for Canyon on this first offensive possession of the ball game. 10:30 left to go here in the first quarter. Trips receivers to the near side. Ball at the 49. Haney now to the right of Perez, moving left to right. Couple of shouts to Seth Haney, moves him to the left. Now back over to the right again of Perez. Perez takes it out of the gun with a pump fake on a slant and go. Going to the far side to Facundo. Facundo makes the catch at the 25, and then the ball is dislodged at the last second. One-on-one coverage with Keandre Diggs, the cornerback, and Diggs does a good job of knocking the ball out at the last second.
That's right. Fabian had that football, and as he was trying to put it in, the defensive back just kind of wedged himself in there, was able to knock that away. Good heads-up play by the Madison secondary.
The lone miscue on this Cougar offensive possession leaves them at 2nd and 10. 2 receivers either way at the Madison Maverick 49-yard line. Out of the gun, handoff to Haney. Our first look at him today. Slips a tackle in the backfield, and look at him go. Across the 45, dragging Maverick defenders with him. Down to the 42, a nice hard run there by Seth on 2nd and 10.
Yeah, time to turn Seth Haney loose.
Quickly to the line, 3rd and 3 for the Canyon Cougars. Once again, 2 receivers either way as penalty flags come in, and as soon as Canyon got something going, they get called back for an illegal procedure penalty.
That is procedure. You know, I was looking at the penalties from last week. Canyon charged with a lot of them. They've got to stay out of trouble this week. They've got to try and maintain not picking up those penalties.
It was not only what, but when. 6 penalties for 65 yards for the Canyon Cougars, 2 of them taking scores off the scoreboard. 3rd and 8 as this penalty sets them back behind the change. Perez has 4 receivers to the left, 1 to the near side. The near side receiver is Lane Young. Still in Maverick territory at the 47. Bat to pass on a little receiver screen is caught by David Gonzalez, but there's nowhere to go as Gonzalez is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Roland, they tried the wide receiver screen, but the Madison Mavericks were disciplined defensively, and this drive is going to stall.
And if Bettis would have looked to the other side of the field, he had Lane Young, had a couple of steps away from his defender, could have possibly got enough yardage for that first down.
Jacob Martinez on to attempt the first punt of the evening. He's averaging 36, and another opportunity to get one inside the 20. He has 2 on this young year, though kicking into a win. Right foot into it for Perez. It's a beautiful high kick that is wobbly, and the return man has to come up to make a fair catch, and does. That's Sam Barrasso in deep receiving for the Madison Mavericks. They'll spot the ball at the 17-yard line. 1st and 10 Madison after a 29-yard punt.
Got to tell you, I'm excited to see what this Cougar defense is going to do. They looked tenacious at times last week. Hopefully see the same sort of thing out of them tonight.
Our first look at Dante Higgins, the 175-pound junior quarterback. He'll line up in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. The running back to his right is Trevion Tippins as Madison is working right to left as a procedural penalty comes in on Madison's opening possession. And I think this is going to be a legal procedure against the Mavericks.
That's right. I think that running back just got up off of his stance just a little bit early, and that's going to move the Maverick offense back, as you mentioned.
8:47 opening period of the ball game, no score. First possession for Madison. Moving right to left. Out of the gun is Higgins. Near side curl route in and out of the hands of Jalen Battles, the 180-pound senior receiver. A little bit too high for him.
You think he heard Facundo coming? I think he did. I think he heard those footsteps.
And safety help by Zach Feinstiel as well, as they had a little bracketed coverage there on the simple curl route. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 for Madison. at their own 12-yard line. Excuse me, 2nd down and 15 for Madison after the penalty. Out of the gun, Hagans comes to the near side again. The ball is caught by Chance Gill. Gill gets a good block, and across the 20-yard line before being upended by a couple of Cougars, I saw Cole Seeley and Zach Van Stiel in on the tackle.
That's right. McKay, I think, also came over to put a pop on him as well.
Gain of 10, now 3rd and 5 for Madison at the 22. Again, looking to the near side out of the gun is Hagans, and Hagans is under pressure as the Cougars have broken the pocket. Hagans rolls to the right, delivers. That ball is incomplete as Hagans takes a shot in the lower body area from, I believe that's Antonio DeLeon, as the Cougars defensively rolling. Looks like they forced a 3-and-out on the opening possession.
And that's what I was hoping to see, this first defensive set of downs for the Cougar defense. And they did. A lot of pressure to the Madison quarterback that time. He was feeling the pressure coming, just had to get rid of it. And good job by the defensive secondary of Canyon to keep those receivers covered.
Averaging 40 yards a punt is Jalen Battles, also doubles as a wide receiver. He's going to have a nice win at his back as he takes this punt and sends this ball high spinning as the ball is fielded and in and out of the hands of the return man, Isaiah Rivera. That ball was going out of bounds, and Rivera unable to get a grasp on it. The ball stays inbounds, and Madison recovers it. So, Roland, they force a 3-and-out defensively and a punt, but a miscue on special teams gives the ball back to the Madison Mavericks in Cougar territory.
Costly mistake. We hope this doesn't result in points on the Madison side of the scoreboard, but you hope you can recover and call on that defense one more time.
The wind was at the back of the punter. It's one of those sign winders punts, so I could tell you Isaiah Rivera did not have a good eye on that ball. And the ball goes over back to the Madison Mavericks now at their own 36. They fake the handoff, then go up the seam, and that ball is caught in and out of the hand. Excuse me, Aiden Hoffman slips a tackle at the 20-yard line. 10-5 will get into the end zone. Aiden Hoffman strikes for the Madison Mavericks, and they are on the board after the miscue on special teams.
Hoffman all by his lonesome in the middle of the field. Just took it into the end zone to give the Mavericks, let them draw first blood on tonight's contest.
Swinging gate look for Madison on the extra point attempt as Graham Torres will line up for that attempt. Out of the hold of Jalen Battles. The snap is high but down. Kick by Torres is up, and that is good. 7 minutes, 58 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Our new score, Madison 7, Canyon 0. We'll step aside. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
Well, I don't think so. It's a good deal, right?
Coach, this is a 2538, 37 horsepower, most lift capacity of any tractor in its class, and no depth fluid.
Well, the best part is it's the right color.
.758 left to go in the first quarter, and the Madison Mavericks on the scoreboard first as they lead the Canyon Cougars by a score of 7-0, and Ben Costly mistake gets the Mavericks on the scoreboard.
You know, in the kicking game, Canyon had been so sound this year, and you know that is where the hidden yards are rolling in this ball game. They oftentimes don't show up in total yards offense or total yards defense, but you want to explain how Madison was able to flip the field and get a scoring drive while only having about 31 yards of total offense. Well, that's how you do it, with a muff punt. Deep receiving again is Vance McKay and Dallin Watanabe, as Torres will send this ball deep towards McKay. McKay will retreat back into the end zone, catches it as he trots to the back of the end zone, and this ball will go for a touchback, and Canyon will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Roland, we saw some good things from this offense on their opening possession.
Absolutely. A lot along the same lines that we've seen in the first couple of games for the Cougars. They're striking. They're getting back into formation quickly, and that seems to be their strong point is in being able to move the football, and we need to see more of that from them, see if they can find an answer for them this drive.
1st and 10 Canyon, their own 25 as they come out in this set. Two receivers both sides. The near side receivers are stacked one behind the other as Perez comes out of the shotgun with Orrin Worley to his backfield. Handoff to Worley, who tries the right side, has some running room before being met by a trio of Mavericks at the 30-yard line. Will fall forward to the 31. Good gain there by Owen.
Absolutely. Worley, kind of one of those unsung heroes. He's been important in the ground game for the Cougars.
2nd down and 4 for Canyon. Now out of the pistol, they give it to Worley again. He'll try the right side again. This time, the Mavericks are there to meet Owen at the line of scrimmage, drive him back, and it's actually going to be a loss of 2 and set the Cougars back behind the chains.
Well, it's a big 3rd down for the Cougars. See if they've got an answer in them.
3rd and 6 for Canyon. 7:16 left to go in the opening period. Trailing Madison 7-0 as they have trips receivers to the far side of the field, the left side. Perez will roll to that left side, keeping his eyes downfield with a pump fake. Now delivers. The pass is just short of his intended receiver, Lane Young. Would have been enough for a 1st down, but Roland, appeared to me Perez just kind of short-armed that one in there, and the ball goes incomplete.
Absolutely. He was rolling out to a side where he had to come back and adjust and try to make that pass. And unfortunately, he was just a little bit low. Didn't get to the receiver. So Cougars going to have to punt.
First punt for Martinez was 29 yards. He's going to need a better effort here. This ball's resting at the Canyon 29. Snap back to Martinez. The rush is on him, but he gets the ball off. It's a beautiful high punt, spiraling. The ball does not turn over. It drives the return man back inside the 35. He'll signal for a fair catch, and Barrasso handles it in. But a nice field-flipping punt there by Martinez drives Madison back. They'll start this possession at the 34. Nice punt of 37 yards and no return. Into a wind rolling. Again, we're out here outside of the press box, kind of next to the Madison band, so you'll hear those drum cadences throughout the game, but you can definitely feel that wind rolling coming out of the south.
Yeah, it is a wind, not a stiff wind, as we can see the flag gently blowing from our vantage point as we look to our right. A gentle breeze, I guess we could say.
Right to left, the Madison Mavericks are moving. Out of the shotgun, quick slant is delivered from Hagens to his receiver on the far side, Dion Moore. Moore takes it across the 40. I think they'll give him to the 45. A nice pickup on 1st down for Madison. Gain of 9.
De Leon with the stop that time for the Cougars.
They like to go up tempo as they get the play from the near side home stands. 2 receivers either way for Hagens. He drops back out of the shotgun, delivers towards the near side of the field. Wide open receiver. That ball is caught. Jalen battles at the 25, 10-5, and they're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Madison. A quick striking offense. Scoring drives of 1 and now 2 plays for Madison, and they get on the board once again.
That time Battles just got away from Facundo there from his wide receiver position. He got a few steps on him. And of course, the Maverick quarterback with the presence of mind to throw that ball out there.
66 yards on the passing catch for a touchdown. As they are in the swinging gate, they'll snap the ball to Battles, who lines up in that holder position, flings it to the far side, and their 2-point conversion is failed. 6:20 left to go in the first quarter. Roland, let's keep it here. Our new score, Madison 13, Canyon 0, and change of pace back. They went with Owen Worley, the Cougars did, on their last time out, and you kind of see what happens when Haney's not in there. The offense kind of stalls a little bit. We saw some good stuff from him on that opening possession.
Yeah, Haney is always going to be a threat when he's in the ball game. He's just a very talented young man there in the backfield running that football. So I don't believe he was injured in the previous series of downs, but certainly, as you were mentioning, not in there for that series.
I don't want to speculate, and of course we don't have a sideline reporter or anybody to check that for us.
Right.
And although we are not in the press box, we're still high up here at Hero Stadium, so we'll see what happens on this on this next possession for the Canyon Cougars. Down 13-0 with 6:20 left to go in the first period. That scoring drive for Madison was 2 plays and ends on a 66-yard touchdown pass from Hagens to Jalen Battles. And Battles is kind of their home run guy, rolling 2 catches last week, 92 yards and 2 touchdowns versus Warren. Ball's teed up for Madison. Their kicker Torres drills this one from right to left, lands in the backside of the end zone and goes out for a touchback. So Canyon will get it 1st and 10 once again from their own 25.
Okay, I think the thing that the offense has to do right now, the thing to remember is this thing has just started. 6:20 left to go here in the first quarter, so you just maintain your composure and try to answer. Try to get some of those points back.
I think that's a good point you just brought up, Roland. Still early in this ball game, no need to throw out the game plan you've worked on so hard throughout the week. You could still stick to it and try to crawl back into this ball game at the same time. Two receivers either way. Both receivers are stacked, one behind the other, for Perez with Haney back into his right. The handoff to Haney, who's got some running room. He makes a man miss at the line of scrimmage, gets into the 45 before the ball pops out, and Johnny on the spot for the Canyon Cougars is Adam Alcorta, the left tackle. That could have been disaster, but Alcorta jumps on it, and Canyon will retain possession at the 45.
Absolutely. Haney with that first quick step got him through the middle of that line, and thank goodness, as you mentioned, a tip of the cap to Adam Alcorta for falling on that football.
Alcorta started 2 games as a sophomore. They like him last year before injury, so it's nice to have him back in that Cougar line. Handoff to Worley is faked, and Perez will get it up the middle on a keeper into Madison territory across the 50 to the 45. It's a nice run of 11 for Perez on the quarterback keeper. It's enough for a Cougar first down.
That time, William Smizik making the stop for Madison.
Trip receivers to the near side. That's Rivera, Gonzalez, and Farr. Your receivers from the outside in. The lone receiver on the left is Young, as Perez comes up to the line to give instructions to the offensive line and drops back. Orley to the left. Handoff to Orley as he goes to the right side this time. Turns the corner before meeting a member of the Madison Mavericks secondary. Across the 40 to the 35, he's going to have about 9. We'll see if they'll spot him. No, he comes out of the pile. They're going to spot him short of the 35. My mistake there. Ball spotted at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Still a good pickup there on first down nonetheless.
And once again, as we've seen, the Cougars have that offense moving.
Finding a rhythm here once again. 3 receivers to the far side, one to the near side receiver is Rivera. Worley in the backfield. Pump fake by Perez. Goes down the sideline. Has a man. One-on-one jump ball, and that ball is in and out of the hands of Lane Young. In coverage for Madison is Keandre Diggs once again. That's the second time the Cougars have tested Diggs, and the second time Diggs has passed that test.
I think what's happening right now is the Cougar receivers aren't able to shake the defensive secondary of the Madison Mavericks, and that's what's leading to incompletions like that.
3rd and 4 for Canyon on this possession. They fake it to Oren Worley, and Perez has a keeper up the middle and some running room across the 30 to the 25, knocking on that red zone area. Enough for a Cougar first down on 3rd down, and this drive continues for Canyon.
There you go. That's that 1-2 punch of Perez and Haney. Although Haney's not in the ballgame right now, but they're able to move the football on the ground. You can use the run to set up your pass.
Worley getting some good minutes here, backing up Haney. 2 receivers either way. Worley now to the right of Perez. Quick strike pass to Farr. Farr has the ball here on the near sideline, trying to get to the 20-yard line. It's a nice one-on-one tackle here on the far sideline by that Maverick defender.
DJ Dotson over to make the stop on Farr for Canyon.
Short gain, maybe 3 for Callan as he gets to the 21-yard line. Canyon taking their time now that they're inching closer and closer to that red zone area. 3 receivers checked out to the far sideline. That's Young, Farr, and Gonzalez. The far side receivers from outside in. Perez out of the gun with Worley to the right. It's a sprint play to the right here, designed for Perez. Perez across the 20 and the 15, lowers a shoulder and barrels forward across a Madison Maverick defender. Roland's going to be shy of the 10, but a nice pickup there by Perez, showing some power in the run game.
Just shy, absolutely. Great job bouncing off of tacklers. Jorge Rivas was the guy who brought him down for Madison, but good job once again of keeping that ball on the ground, running the football for the Cougars.
Well, Rivas was the nail to the proverbial hammer, Perez. 2 receivers either way on first down. They fake the zone read. Perez, this is a busted play, but he's going to make something out of this. Across the 10 as he goes to the far sideline, spins out of the tackle at the 5, still trying to power his way forward and into the end zone. Touchdown Canyon. They do it on a busted play. Xavier Perez, a magician from 12 yards out.
Atta boy, Xavier. You talk about 1-2. Xavier Perez just wanted it that time. Will that ball in the end zone. Great job by the Canyon quarterback.
There's an injured player in the end zone, and I don't know if that's a Madison Maverick or a Cougar, Roland. Both teams are wearing white. The Washington Bears tells me that this is a Maverick player that's down. He is in the end zone in the R in Northeast in that end zone complex as he is being attended to. And Roland, this is the downside of not being in a press box, is I could hear my voice just carrying as the rest of this stadium is deathly silent.
Yeah, we certainly hope that this is nothing serious. Needless to say, but
still a little trigger shy to take a break here as they have not called an official timeout yet. And we do have an extra point coming. 4:19 left to go here in the opening period as Canyon has responded. The score is 13-6. And Roland, we did see this in a couple of games, one versus Cedar Ridge and last week versus San Marcos, is the opponent missing extra point attempts. And, of course, during those ball games we said maybe this will come back and play a factor in the ball game, and that was not the case those first two ball games, but perhaps here at 6-13, 13-6, it can be a factor in this ball game.
Well, you wonder, too, what head coach Joe Muchagamba and the coaching staff of Canyon, are they going to go for, I mean, it's early enough, you can go for the extra point, but would they gamble and go for two?
The Madison Maverick player is up onto his feet, so that is a good sign.
That's a great sign.
And it is, well, we'll see. I don't want to speculate on the number as he is walking with help, but he's kind of hunched over, so I do not get a good view of that number. And if the Washington Bear wants to point it out to me, or Roland, if you want to shout it out if you get a good eye, I'll leave that for you guys. I think it's 4, D'Angelo Alexander, the outside linebacker. And I get confirmation of that from our spotter statistician.
You're correct.
D'Angelo Alexander, 180-pound senior. And Roland, you mentioned the want-to that Xavier Perez had on that run. Contact made at about the 8, and then again, another reference to rugby scrum. So that's exactly what it looked like as they got into the end zone, and then just a pile of players there on top of everybody. The snap back, the kick is up, and the kick is cannon out of the foot of Jacob Martinez. It is up, and it is good. Roland, 4:19 left to go here in the first quarter. We have a new score, Madison 13, Canyon 7. Let's step aside here on the Cougars Network.
Whether you're out at the beach or chilling poolside, the summer heat is here and Music Choice is turning it up. Chill out with the latest music from your favorite kids artists and more. Your music lives here on Music Choice.
Hey guys, it's Sophia Carson here. Check out all of my music videos available on Music Choice On Demand. Available on GVTC. Just go to Free On Demand and select Music Choice.
4:19 left to go in the first quarter. And Ben Campos, the Cougars had an answer.
They did. It's an 8-play drive that covers 75 yards and takes 2 minutes off the clock. It's Xavier Perez on a 12-yard run, and Roland, I believe that was a busted play. He goes for the zone read. There's no running back there, and then he gives a pump fake. It just says, I have to make something out of nothing, and that something ended up being 6 points.
5 carries thus far on the evening for Xavier Perez, 42 yards and a touchdown. Well, on his way to another good-looking night carrying the football.
Nice to see that young man come into his own. And deep receiving for Madison is Barrasso and Dion Moore. The far sideline for Madison as Martinez has his ball teed up, kicking it left to right at the 40-yard line. This ball will go to the back of the end zone and in for a touchback. A nice kickoff rolling into a breeze for Jacob Martinez. He's had a nice punt. He's had one inside the 20, a nice one to flip the field. And he gets a good kickoff there that will put the Madison Mavericks 1st and 10 at their own 25.
And you hope that momentum carries over to your defense if you're the Canyon Cougars. Cougars defense, of course, letting a couple of receivers get by them in the defensive secondary. But you certainly hope adjustments were made by this point, and you're able to stop them and get the football back in the hands of the offense.
4:19 left to go, opening period. Madison with the ball and a 13-7 lead. 1st and 10 from their own 25, moving right to left. The handoff is faked, and Hagens, the quarterback, will take it up the middle, and he is upended by by the Cougars. A free safety, Zach Fansteel, coming in to make the tackle as they'll give Higgins across the 25, but just shy of the 30.
Oh, Fansteel with another big stop for the Cougars.
Gain of 3, second down and 7. 2 receivers here to the near side for Higgins. As they fake the handoff, no, he gives it to his running back, Tippins. Tippins in open field across the 30, and a nice tackle there. Once again, it's Fansteel. Across the 40 is Trevion Tippins to the 41 and a Maverick first down. Mavericks, again, quick to the line of scrimmage. They want to go hurry up. As in the shotgun, Higgins works. Fake it to Tippins and come on a little hitch route to the H-back Gill. And Gill slips out of the tackle at the 45, still on his feet now into Cougar territory. Nice tackle there on the outside, Antonio DeLeon, as that should be enough for a Maverick first down now into Cougar territory. First and 10 Mavericks at the Cougar 45. Higgins sends Gill in motion from left to right. They'll give it to him. No, they fake it. And Higgins, on a quarterback keeper, dives forward. Maybe a gain of 2 to the 43, and it'll bring up second down.
That's right. Cole Seeley coming over from his linebacker position to make the stop for Canyon.
Fake the jet sweep to Gill, and it becomes a little read play for Hagan. It'll be second down and 8 for Madison as we are approaching the 3-minute mark in the first quarter. Nice ball game so far here at Hero Stadium. Out of the pistol with Tippins to the right. They fake it to Tippins, and pass goes across the middle on a slant pass to Gill. Gill makes a reception at the 30 and is immediately hit and dropped. It's enough for a Maverick first down.
Vance McKay back defensively, but not before the Mavericks pick up some more yardage.
Quickly, the Madison Mavericks go again. Coming to the near side play on a pass play. It is incomplete. Fabian Macundo in coverage there against the receiver Battles, and I think Fabian Facundo Roland just got away with something there.
Well, might have, or Battles just might have slipped that time.
Yeah, that's a good point, Roland. As Battles was coming out of a break, it could have been that Battles went down and Facundo just kind of trips over him while he's trying to make a play on the ball. Nonetheless, no flags come. It's second down and 10 for Madison. The Cougars hoping for a bend but don't break type of defensive stand here. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. As they fake the handoff, they give the handoff. Check that to Tippins. Tippins tries the right side, and the Cougars are there to meet him. Minimal gain, maybe 4. Late flag comes in as they spot Tippins down to the 27. Give him a gain of 3 there, but we'll check the flag.
Vance McKay slowed him down. Cole Seeley came over to finish him off. We'll see what that penalty marker is all about, though.
Referees are talking it over. The Cougars defensively are already taking steps back. This was a late flag, Roland, after the play, so we'll see if this is going to, how much this is going to cost Canyon, I should say. Hurt.
Face mask. That's what I was afraid of on that stop. But you know what, Ben? If we would have asked Austin Milam, he would have told us that's exactly what happened.
Well, here's the thing about the Washington Bear that I know. He will not signal unless he is absolutely sure he knows what it is. I mean, his success rate is 100% for sure.
Absolutely.
First and 10 Madison, now at the Cougar 13. The handoff to Tippins up the middle, slips a tackle at the line of scrimmage, keeps his feet going, and is finally corralled and brought down at the 11, maybe just shy of the 10. Good run there by Tippins on first down.
Seeley along with Josh Heiser making the stop on the Maverick running back.
Second down and 7. Just outside of the 10-yard line for Madison, working right to left. Out of the gun, they fake it to Tippins, come across the seam, and that ball is deflected as I believe that was 9, Martin Davis, the inside linebacker, deflects the pass that was intended for Aiden Hoffman out of the backfield.
There you go. Once again, get those hands up. You may be able to swat something down. Good job that time by Martin Davis.
2:05 left to go here in the opening period. The Madison Mavericks face a third down with a 13-7 lead in Cougar territory at the 11. The Mavericks 0 for 1 this evening on third downs. Cougars need a stop here. Pistol look for the Mavericks. Out of the gun, Tippins to the left of Higgins. Higgins tries a little curl route on the far sideline. It is caught at the 5. Is going to be shy of the first down. That's Julius Wasu, the senior wide receiver, has Madison set up at 4th and 1. And we'll see what the Mavericks decide to do here, Roland. We see mass substitutions here, so I think they're going to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, it looks like, kicking team is definitely in.
Graham Torres to attempt this field goal. It'll be a 22-yard attempt from the right hash out of the hold of Battles. Battles takes the snap, puts it down. Torres has the kick up, and that kick is good. 1:27 left to go in the opening period. It's been a busy first quarter, but our new score is Madison 16, Canyon 7. You're listening to Cougar football on the Cougars Network.
Tom Brady, that's a mic drop.
This is football, and this is how it is.
Let's just get right to it. Start your game day with Game Day Morning, football's first pregame show every Sunday.
Watch NFL Network, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 579. GVTC, just plain smart.
.127 left to go in the first quarter, and the Mavericks back on the scoreboard as they just kicked a field goal to move the lead out to 16-7 over the Canyon Cougars. As we get set for the kickoff right now, and I guess in essence sort of a victory for the Cougar defense. It was a bend but don't break. They didn't give up the touchdown, at least that time, Ben.
Nice methodical drive for the Madison Mavericks, and you're right, Roland, a couple of shots that the Mavericks did take towards the end zone, and the Cougars were there to stiffen up and keep them to only 3. It is a 11-play drive for the Mavericks, took 2 minutes and 52 seconds off the clock and covered 71 yards, again ending in a 22-yard field goal for Madison. McKay and Watanabe in deep receiving. McKay will take it. 2 yards deep in the end zone, puts a knee down, and Canyon once again rolling tonight, 1st and 10 at their own 25. 1:27 opening period. Madison on top, 17-7. Rolling, well-played game both sides so far.
It really is, and the thing I think I like the most seeing out of the Canyon offense right now is they have been able to finish, and I think that's where they've been hurting in the first couple of games. They know they can finish their drives, and it's just a question of getting it done. Let's see what they've got in them this time.
1st and 10, moving left to right, the Cougars. 2 receivers either way, as Haney is to the left of Perez. They fake it to Haney. Perez keeps it on the left side, makes a man miss at the line of scrimmage, turning it up to the far sideline, gets to the 30, and a shoestring tackle is made by Madison before Perez is able to really turn the corner. It's a gain of 5 on 1st down.
I'll tell you what, if he would have got past that last Madison defender, he had real estate in front of him.
Approaching a minute to play in the opening period as Perez takes the ball, hands off to Haney. Haney makes a man miss once again at the line of scrimmage, and he is just a powerful runner, folks. That's 2 tackles broken. As he gets close to the 1st down marker, needs to get to the 35. They'll spot it at the 34, gain of 4.
Be 3rd and short right now. Another great run by Haney. Just not giving up, sticking with it, moving those legs.
The Cougars are 33% on 3rd downs for the year, and they're 1 for 3 tonight on 3rd downs. Makeable one here on 3rd and 1. It's a zone read. Keeper Perez goes up the middle, enough for a Cougar 1st down to the 40. Interesting play there, Roland. It almost looked like Haney and Perez had the ball simultaneously for the first few yards.
That's right. Who's going to get it? And, I mean, they waited till the last possible moment to commit. Smart heads-up play.
Enough for a Cougar 1st down, and now this offense finding momentum at their own 41. Perez looking to the far near sideline. That ball is caught by Lane Young on a little slant passes. Young gets into Maverick territory across the 45-40, finally tackled by from behind into Maverick territory. Big gain there for Canyon and a 1st down.
Young had a step, and Perez led him just right. The ball was right where it needed to be. Super accurate pass that time by Xavier.
Gain of 21 on the pitch and catch. Correction there was on the far sideline, not the near. 1st down either way as the ball's on the far hash. Fake it to Haney as they set up a little screen pass. Perez has to do something with it. He just dumps it out as he was under pressure, intended for David Gonzalez. Gonzalez primarily there rolling as a blocker, but he serves the purpose as being the eligible receiver in the area.
Right, and the play, that one just kind of fell apart, so Xavier Perez just did what he had to do. Smart play by the Canyon quarterback.
We got a good one here at Hero Stadium, and we played 1 quarter here. Our score at the end of 1, Madison 16, Canyon 7. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
MLB Tonight brings you closer to the pennant chase.
Devastating slider. Leaping grab. That's number 3.
Closer to the epic moments.
That ball is cashed out to center. And a dive and a catch.
Closer to the critical plays.
Now you use your hands more. Now I go into a fine focus. Boom.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, bringing you closer to the pennant chase.
This is it.
On MLB Network, home of 2 American League Division Series games.
Welcome back to Heroes Stadium as we're about to start the second quarter of play. Ben Campos, Roland Ruiz with you. Austin Batcray-Milam, our spotter statistician. Our score at the end of one, it's Madison 16, Canyon 7, trailing Roland, but a good offensive drive here in a rhythm.
Yeah, that's right. The Cougars have been able to move the football. Once again, doing a great job. Momentum, let's see if they can keep that momentum.
Second down and 10 for the Cougars, now moving right to left. 3 receivers to the far sideline, one to the near. They fake it to Haney. Perez keeps it up the middle, breaks a tackle near the 35-yard line and falls forward. They'll give him progress to the 33. Nice pickup there on second down and another third down opportunity.
I like that. It's a kind of a who's going to hurt you running the football type of offense. Is he going to give it to Haney or keep it himself?
Haney to the left now with Perez. They stay in this formation. They give the ball to Haney this time. No, again, it's a fake. Perez coming to the near side, and he has some running room across the 25 and finally tackled near the 30. Brandon Bellafield, the 185-pound junior linebacker, making a tackle before Perez could do more damage. Ball spotted now at the 20.
And that's a good thing. They're keying on Haney, which is freeing Perez up to run that football a little bit more and give him a little bit more wiggle room, give him a little bit more elbow room to get out there.
That's 2 straight third down conversions for the Canyon Cougars. 2 receivers either way, ball at the 20. They give it to Haney this time. He tries the right side as he makes men miss at the line of scrimmage. Powers forward, maybe a gain of 3. It's a workman's 3. Ball down to the 17-yard line.
Smizik making the stop defensively for Madison.
Staying in this formation, 3 receivers to the far sideline. From outside in is Isaiah Rivera, David Gonzalez, and Callan Farr. Near side receiver Lane Young. Haney now out of the gun to the right side of Perez. Perez gives it to Haney up the middle, and the Madison Mavericks are there rolling. You could see Haney continuing to keep his legs churning. He'll get no yards there, but a nice run and good effort.
Yes, indeed, which may show you just why Bettis has been successful carrying the football, as we have an injured Madison Maverick right now on the field. We'll step aside momentarily. But that could be it, in that the Maverick defense is keying on Haney that time. And with keying on Haney, they'll commit, which leaves Bettis free to run the football. He's been very successful thus far. We'll get a look at his yardage here momentarily.
An injured Madison Maverick at the 17-yard line. Well, you mentioned that Seth Haney, and what a game he had last week versus the San Marcos Rattlers. 24 carries, 130 yards on the ground. And if I'm watching that on film as this Maverick is now up on his feet, that is T.J. Dowd, the nose tackle, coming off the field, holding on to his right arm. But I'll tell you, Roland, if I'm looking at that film last week, I saw Seth Haney become the bell cow. You better believe it. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I am honing in on him.
You bet. That's who to key on. And right now, that's opened up, as we mentioned. 9 carries, 72 yards thus far, and that's just in the first half for Xavier Bettis.
Good 1-2 punch going here for Canyon, as you mentioned earlier in this broadcast, between Perez and Haney. So back to play here. Cougars have converted 2 straight third downs, and they have a 3rd and 7 here at the 17. Out of the gun, Perez looking to the far sideline. He'll let it go for Haney out of the backfield. Front corner of the end zone, he overthrew everybody. Incomplete. Roland looked like Haney kind of cut off his route at the last second, and Xavier put it in the place where I think it was supposed to go.
He was looking for Haney. That could have been dangerous, though. I tell you, the defensive back was just a step or 2 away from possibly being able to haul that in.
This brings on Jacob Martinez, the kicker for Canyon, 0 for 1 last week and on the year. As he'll put his tee down, this will be a 34-yard effort out of the hold of Fabian Facundo. The ball is just to the right of the near side hash, kind of in the middle of the field. Good snap, kick down, kick up, and it is good. Jacob Martinez connects from 24 yards out, and Canyon answers Madison's field goal. 9:57 left to go in the second quarter. Check that. Our score: Madison 16, Canyon 10. We'll step aside. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
If you bank at Frost, we'll help keep your money safe. If you use your Frost debit card, the chip will make it more secure. If there's a suspicious transaction on your card, you'll get an alert. If you do, you can freeze your card with the Frost app. If you lose your phone, Touch ID login will help keep the app secure. Of course, if all you need is help from people who care, we've got that too.
.9:57 left to go before halftime. Just underway here basically in the second quarter. And the Canyon Cougars on the scoreboard once again as they answer a Maverick field goal with a field goal of their own.
Back and forth we go, Roland, for Canyon on that drive. 11 plays covering 58 yards, 3 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock. Nice efficient drive there for the Canyon Cougars. Stalls, but they get 3. 16-6 our new score. Missed extra point looming large in this ball game already. Martinez sends this ball. It's a high spinning kick that's going to be returnable as Moore takes it. He'll have it on a little end around to Gill. And the Canyon Cougars are not fooled at all. Zach Fansteel making a body slam tackle before Gill's able to get to the 20-yard line. What a play on special teams, and some more energy by this Canyon defense as they're ready for another possession.
I'd leave it to Fansteel. I mean, just
I will.
one of the most heads-up players I think I've seen in the last couple of weeks. You can count on him to do a good job for you, not only on the defensive end of the football, but right there is a perfect example of what he does on special teams.
Madison kind of in a hole here. Ball spotted at their own 18-yard line, moving left to right. As there's a clock issue, I believe. The referees have everything straightened out now, and we're ready for play. 2 receivers here to the near side for Hagan. Sends a man in motion. That's Dion Moore. They give the ball to Moore, tries the left side, and the Cougars are there. Spins out of a tackle, though. Coming back towards the midfield across the 25, shy of the 30 to the 29, but enough for Maverick first down on a gain of 11.
Good move that time by Moore. Eric Taylor comes and puts a hit on him to slow him down, but not until the Mavericks get a first down.
1st and 10 at their own 29. Madison quick to the line. Quick route here to the near side. Ball in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. And Cooper Holm unable to come up with the interception. The pass comes to the near side to Darren Gill, number 2, and the ball will harmlessly go incomplete. 2nd and 10 here, Madison, their own 29. With 9:29 left to go here before the half, they have a 16-10 lead. Canyon trying to make some noise here defensively. 2 receivers either way. Tippin in the backfield with Hagan. Comes to the near side with a quick pass. That ball's caught by Gill, and Gill is unable to turn upfield. Nice open field tackle. Once again, Cooper Holm making a good play.
Cooper Holm, good heads-up play that time to stop the Madison receiver for little or no gain. Might have even thrown for a loss.
I think they're going to give him a loss back to the 28. So big 3rd down here for Canyon defensively. 3rd and 11. Can the Cougars make a stop? High snap as Hagans has it. Coming to the near side. The Cougars are there. Across the 30 to the 34. Nice stop defensively by 3 or 4 Canyon Cougars. It'll set up a 4th down, and the punting unit will come out for Madison.
Dallin Watanabe made the stop that time for Canyon, shutting off the Madison quarterback. Good stop for the Cougar defense. Get the ball back in the hands of Xavier and the Cougar offense.
8 minutes, 37 seconds left to go before the half as Canyon will have a shot at it. And deep receiving is McKay. Check that, is Rivera standing at his own 33, and deep punt is Battles. The Cougars send a blitz. Battle is able to get the punt off. It's a high spinning end-over-end kick that goes out of bounds. Nice play by the Cougars there, able to bring pressure and avoid touching Battles, the punter. It's a bad punt, and they'll spot the ball at the, well, wait for the spot. I believe they're going to spot it at the 38-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Canyon after a punt of 28. Rolling opportunity here for Canyon. 8:18 left to go before the half. Down 6. Opportunity to establish a nice offensive drive, milk some clock, and ultimately take the lead.
This could be fun.
1st and 10, Canyon. Moving right to left. Handoff is given to Worley. He'll go to the far sideline, trying to string it out. Unable to turn the corner. That's just good defense there by Madison. I believe making the tackle was Andre Riley, the inside linebacker.
Was Riley just not able to get to the outside that time and got thrown for a bit of a loss, 3-yard loss, I believe, on the play.
It is 3, back to the 35. Behind the change now, the Cougars taking their time here, 2nd down and 13. Trips receivers to the far sideline. That is the boundary side of the field. The handoff to Worley right up the middle. He's got some running room across the 40, 45, closer to midfield. Has a Cougar first down. Gain of 15 for for Owen Worley, as I combined his first and last name there out of excitement.
That's what happens when you do that. That's all right. Good run in the middle of that field for Worley.
They'll stay in this package here. Worley to the right of Perez. They fake it to him. Perez has the ball up the middle, keeping his feet churning. They still haven't brought him down, but I don't think he's going to get much. They'll call forward progress after a gain of 1, now officially rolling into Maverick territory.
Yeah, picked up 1. Smizik over to make the stop that time once again for Madison. We call that young man's name quite a bit this evening.
Substitutions here in the wide receiver formation. 2 receivers to the far sideline, Rivera and Farr. The near sidelines is Young on the outside, Gonzalez in the slot. Orley stays in at running back. Boy, if Worley could develop into a nice running back here and this season goes on.
What a tandem.
Watch out. Perez back to pass as he drops back, fires on a little out route. That ball is intercepted. Nice defensive play on a one-on-one matchup on the outside. Ball's picked off. I believe that is 26, Deshaun Hagens. The 180-pound sophomore just kind of wrestled it away there from the Cougar receiver.
Yeah, he was well covered that time, and Hagens came away with the football, just knew the right moment to step into that thing and take it away from the Canyon receiver. So a drive thwarted, and it'll be Mavericks football still with 6:49 on the clock left to go before halftime.
And a 16-10 lead as Madison will get the ball inside Cougar territory. It was a nice, promising drive that ends in a turnover and good field position for Madison. Moving left to right, ball at their own 45. Out of the shotgun, handoff is faked to Tippins and little curl route to Gill to the near sideline. Gill spins out of the tackle at the 40 and he's down the sideline across the 30, 25, inside the 20-yard line before Martin Davis, the middle linebacker, takes him out. They'll spot the ball at the 19. Big pickup there after the turnover for Madison.
Oh, if you're gonna wrap him up like that, be sure to bring him down. Don't let him squirm away.
Little spin cycle there. Avoids a minimal gain and turns it into a big one. Now inside the 20-yard line. From the 19, out of the gun, handoff to Tippins. Tippins up the middle. Takes a couple of Cougar defenders with him. Inside the 15 to the 14. Gain of 5 for Tippins. Trevion Tippins, the senior running back. He'll get the ball again here. Wide open, right up the middle, untouched from 14 yards out. Trevion Tippins is in for Madison.
Well, Tippins just has that quick first step, and you saw it exhibited right there.
Hold everything here, folks. There is a flag on the play.
It's
holding against Madison, and perhaps Roland the reason why there was a bunch of running room right up the middle.
It could be.
Madison, what that shows me there, Roland, they want to get you off balance. They want to go up-tempo like that. They hit you with the big play and then a 1-2 punch with their running back to try to get you defensively off balance.
On the offense, 10 yards, repeat second.
And I did not see that flag late. But, Roland, we're wearing red socks up here, and we were happy to see that flag for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Knocked the Madison Mavericks back. It is now 2nd down and 15 from the 24. Out of the gun, Hagens sweeps it out to the left, and the Cougars are there. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, maybe one, as they'll mark him, Roland, I believe, at the 24.
Reagan Hopper from his defensive line position coming in to make the stop on the Madison quarterback that time.
Turned it upfield. There was actually no gain on that play.
That's good. That's good pursuit by that front line of the Cougars.
They'll give him 1 to the 23 when it's all said and done. So 3rd and 13, another opportunity for Canyon to get off the field. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Hagen working out of the gun, trying to get a play call from the near side sideline. Tippin to his right, taking some time here, out of the gun. Fake it to Tippin, go across the middle. The pass is there.
Intercepted.
Flags are there, but Canyon has intercepted. Coming to the near side is Zach Fansteel, and Roland, I think this is going to go for naught. McKay makes a play on the ball and might have gotten there about a half second too early. We'll see what the flags are. There's 2 of them down.
Let's check this flag. Very interesting call. You're correct.
Pass interference, the call against Canyon, and Roland, not only does that take an interception off the board, but that's going to give Madison a first down
Brand
via
new set
penalty.
of downs, absolutely.
Again, last week versus San Marcos, Roland, it wasn't that there were 6 penalties that cost Canyon 65 yards, but it was when they happened.
Exactly.
And this is one that you'll look at in 3rd and 13, pass across the middle, going into the end zone. We'll give a fresh set of downs to Madison. 1st and 10 from the 12. Moving left to right out of the gun, Hagens. Fake it to Tippins, rolls to the right. Canyon's kind of there. Pump fake for Hagen, and he's making something out of this. Goes to the far sideline. He's got some blockers. Cuts back inside at the 5 and into the end zone for Dante Hagen from 12 yards out.
And they had Hagen stopped about 3 yards in back of the line of scrimmage, but Hagen just zigging this way and zagging that way. Got to the outside, found a little bit of real estate, and took it in for pay dirt.
Well, you're right. The Cougar defense had them dead to rights. We're there by all accounts, and you just chalked that one up. Roland, good defensive play call, good defensive execution, but ultimately the quarterback made a play, and you just got to tip your hat to him, I guess. Torres on to attempt the extra point for Madison. The snap is back, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 5:18 left to go before the half. Our new score, Madison 23, Canyon 10. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
The wait is over. Chip and Joe are back with more Fixer Upper. I love you.
You ready to do this?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. You slayed it.
Whoa!
You killed it.
This is amazing.
Yes!
Fixer Upper, Tuesday night at 9, only on HGTV.
Watch HGTV, GVTC, Digital Cable Channel 578. GVTC, just plain smart.
5:18 left to go before halftime, and Ben, that time another penalty at an inopportune time led to points for the Madison Mavericks.
Well, penalty and turnover there, kind of a 1-2 punch of what you don't want. Canyon with the interception offensively leads to short field position, and then trying to make something out of a 3rd and 13 defensively ended up giving Madison a fresh set of downs after the penalty. It's a 4-play drive for Madison, 45 yards, a minute 30 off the clock. Again, you mentioned that, Roland, 45 yards short field after the interception. McKay and Watanabe back in deep receiving for Canyon. 5:18 left to go before the half. 2-possession ball game, 13-point spread.
And still plenty of time, which is the upside.
And the Cougars very much in this ball game. It's a sky kick, short, high, and to the near side. Watanabe lets it bounce at the 18, turning upfield across the 25. And the Madison Mavericks are there, as I think Watanabe will officially get to the 27.
Coming over to make the stop that time for Madison was Brandon Bellafield from his special team position. Call that young man's name a couple of times this evening, too. He's having a good ball game for Madison.
Well, Roland, what I take from that is the Cougars are making him have one from that inside linebacker position. A couple of good runs by Perez and Haney, and we've seen a pretty good game from Owen Worley as well, that running back position. And they got to get one going here, do the Cougars. Out of the gun, handoff to Haney. He's got some room on the right side across the 35-40, and he's tackled from behind. Oh, what a run by Seth Haney as William Smizek makes the tackle across the 40 to the 42. Big gain for Haney and a first down.
If he wouldn't have, Haney was going to the house that time.
1st and 10 Canyon at the 43. It's a game of the 16 for Haney. They give the ball to Perez this time. They fake to Haney, tries the right side across the 45 to the 47. It's a good gain, 4 yards, sets up 2nd and 6.
Numbers starting to straighten out for Haney a little bit now. 7 carries, 53 yards on the night. Just another night at the office thus far. Still the first half.
Bull Moose getting it going there from the running back position. Handoff is given to Haney, tries the right side. Met at the line of scrimmage, is able to fall forward for no gain. The player making the tackle for Madison was Bellyfield, Roland, the player you just mentioned on special teams. No gain there, sets up Canyon 3rd down. They are 3 of 6, 50% on 3rd down tonight, and they need a conversion here. Approaching 4 minutes ago before the half. Two receivers either way. They give it to Haney. They'll go to the right side, trying to turn the corner, and he can't. Tackle from behind as he tried to turn it upfield. I believe that is 21, Andre Riley, making the tackle for Madison, and it'll be 4th down in a punt situation. Roland, keep in mind a fake here. It is 4th and 5. It is manageable, so you have that part of it. And the field position has set up somewhat nicely at your own 48, and also district play starting next week. It's nice to get something like this on film.
Well, here comes the play.
We'll see. Martinez back at his own 33 and deep punt. Ball goes to him, right foot into it. It's an end-over-end kick. That comes shy of the return man, and they're trying to keep it away from Barrasso. This is a nice punt, though, inside the 15 and the 10. We'll see where they spot it at the 9. Rolling great punt there by Jacob Martinez. It's a punt of 43 and a 0 on the return.
Absolutely nice roll that time after the punt to pin the ball back inside the Madison 10-yard line. The Mavericks will have to start from the 9. This looks like where they're going to spot the ball.
3:19 left to go before the break. Important to note, Roland, that Madison will get the ball to start the second half. So we use this term going 2 for 1. You have a chance, does Madison, to score here before the break, and then you'll get the ball to start the second half. So 2 possessions for the Canyon 1. From the 9, handoff to Tippins, coming to the near side. The Cougars are there. Tippins tries to hurdle a tackler down to the 12, gain of 3 on first down.
Martin Davis with the stop for Canyon.
Quickly, the Madison Mavericks are back to the line. They come to the near side on a pass. The ball is caught by Nwasu, and Nwasu is drilled. What a tackle there by Canyon's Zach Fansteel, once again making a play.
You know it. Not much real estate where if you're going to throw on Fansteel's side of the football.
Nwasu driven back. It's going to be a loss. Back to the 10-yard line, and 3rd and long. 3rd and 9 specifically. Out of the gun is Hagens. Bat to pass, looking to the near side of the field, far side of the field. He'll toss it to a receiver, his safety valve, and that ball is at his feet and incomplete. So the Madison Mavericks, Roland, try to go up-tempo there, but all they do is quickly go 3 and out, and Canyon is going to get an opportunity here. And because of that punt, Roland, by Jacob Martinez, Canyon is starting to get an edge here in the battle of field position.
Now the key is to put the points on the scoreboard for the Cougar offense when they get the ball back here. Still plenty of time left to go first half with 2:33 left to go. See if that offense can convert.
Battle standing in the middle of his end zone. Rivera at his own 45.
Oh!
The punt is blocked. Coming off the edge is Eric Taylor, 14. The ball is blocked, goes out of bounds. It'll go for safety, and Battles, the punter, is slow getting up.
That was huge. We've seen Taylor come in several times on kicking situations for Madison this evening. Getting through that line, and you knew it was just a matter of time before Taylor was going to get his hands on one. Great job defensively. Another big night for the SWAT master, I guess you can call him, Eric Taylor.
He had a block extra point last week, and now a block punt that goes for a safety. So Roland flipping everything back now here. Canyon ends up getting points off of this possession. 2:26 left to go before the half. 23-12 our new score. Madison with the lead, but Canyon, Roland, is going to get the ball back again, probably with decent field position and enough time to go down the field in normal fashion and try to get some points before the break.
That Cougar offense has got to feed off this momentum. The defense has just set the table for them.
Excellent point there. And, you know, you're going back for the past 2 games versus Cedar Ridge and versus San Marcos, Canyon has undoubtedly won the kicking battle, and it had been time after time getting closer and closer to the punter. And that time Canyon sending it all out, and Eric Taylor making the Madison Mavericks pay. Torres has an option here. Is he going to punt it or kick it kickoff style at the 20-yard line? He elects to bring his kickoff tee out. And so the Mavericks will be in kind of conventional kickoff coverage, but this time at the 20-yard line. In deep receiving for Canyon is not Watanabe and not McKay. So that gets me to shuffle through what I have here. I believe it's Callan Farr on the far sideline, and I'll wait for
naturally.
We'll see what happens here. I think it's Worley here to the near side. Torres sends this one high, spinning.
It is
Canyon will take it. Worley across the 35.
No, correction, it's McKay.
It was McKay. So Watanabe was the return man that was subbed out. Across the 45 is McKay. To the 46 of Canyon and Roland. Good field position, as we mentioned. Now 2:20 left to go before the half, and an opportunity here to cut into this Madison lead.
Move the football. Execute what has been successful, and that has been doses of Pettis running the football, of Haney running the football when he's in. We'll see, yes, Haney is in the ball game to start this offensive series.
Situational football right here for Canyon. 2:20 left to go. Can they get a score before the half? They fake it to Haney, and this play is stopped. For a flag, it'll be illegal procedure against Canyon.
Ball start. On the offense. 5 yard. Repeat first down.
And try to limit mistakes.
Well, Roland, I just mentioned it's situational football. This is the stuff that separates good teams from great. And Canyon trying to get up to that upper echelon. You can't have mistakes like that, not in this situation of football. 1st and 15 for Canyon. Handoff is fake. Perez coming to the near side, has some running room across the 45, and he is taken out of bounds. Good tackle by Bellyfield, the inside linebacker, probably player of the game right now for Madison on the defensive side.
He's had a whale of a first half.
Ball at the 44. Clock continues to go, just now at the 2-minute mark. Out of the gun, Perez fakes it and goes to the far sideline for Callan Farr. The ball is juggled and almost intercepted. Roland, you can see it from here. Callan just took his eyes off the ball.
He took his eyes off the ball, and what happened was DJ Dotson almost got his hands on that and took it to the house for a pick six. So a break, I guess, of sorts that time for the Cougars.
Clock stops at 1:51, and the incompletion puts them behind the chains at 3rd and 12. Can Canyon do it here? Out of the gun. Perez back to pass. Looking to the far sideline. Steps up in the pocket, and he unloads it. Looking for Fabian Facundo, who high points the ball and makes the catch inside the 20. What a pass from Perez. What a catch by Facundo, and Canyon is in business.
He threw that into double coverage. Dotson was back along with Sam Barrasso, and Facundo just hauled it in.
Gain of 41 and a Cougar first down. Handoff is fake. Perez goes up the middle, clean across the 10, the 5, tries to spin his way forward, and he'll get down inside the 3. What a couple of plays there by Xavier Perez.
That's right. Contreras with the stop that time for Madison.
1.5 left to go before the break. Canyon now at the 3. Going in. Out of the gun. Slap of the hands. Handoff is fake. Perez will go up the middle, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown Canyon. Xavier Perez from 3 yards out.
One big play, and Xavier decides, I'm going to keep the ball myself and find that end zone, and he did just exactly that. So now we've got ourselves a ball game.
How clutch that 41-yard pass was.
Oh, man, into double coverage.
To set the table, and Perez takes it in on 2 carries. Martinez on for the extra point, and that kick will sail through. 1:21 left before the break. Roland, let's take a timeout here. Our new score, Madison 23, Canyon 19. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor.
81 ticks to the clock before halftime, and the Cougars have found pay dirt. The margin is 4 now. They've cut the Madison lead to 4 by a score of 23-19. And, momentum can do good things for your football team, Ben.
It's tangible, Roland. I will say that. Having been in locker rooms and on sidelines, the buzz that is created by, if you're on offense, make a play, the defense creates that buzz on the sideline and the reserve players as well. And you could just feel it here at Hero Stadium as the home side where we are is just kind of quiet and still and a lot of energy on that far sideline. It is a 5-play drive for Canyon after the safety had set them up with good field position, covers 54 yards, and 1:05 left on the clock. So the only thing that I have to grin about there, Roland, is did Canyon leave too much time on the clock? Ironically, only time will tell. But there's 1:21 left. And
well, here again, you hope conversely that defense will feed off what your offense just did.
Martinez kicks off. Dion Moore will hand the ball off to Gill on an end around, and Gill trying to get upfield. Cougars are there, not surprised by that end around, and that's a good tackle on special teams for Cooper Holm. As Gill gets across the 20 to the 21, it'll be 1st and 10. Madison with 1:14 left to go before the break. Roland, what an entertaining first half of football this has been.
This really has been. We've seen stellar plays on the offensive side of the football. We've seen stellar plays on the defensive side. We've seen some stellar special teams play.
Both teams desperate to get the win, Roland. So we're seeing their best effort tonight. 1st and 10, Madison moving left to right at the 21. Sends a man in motion. That's Gill. They fake it to Gill, and Hagens will go up the middle. And I think his knee went down. Roland, they tried the jet sweep, and it seemed to me like Hagens and Gill touched knees, and that sent Hagen to the ground momentarily.
So a miscue for the Maverick offense.
Very slight. Again, in the NFL, perhaps that's that the play continues to go, but not here in UIL rules. It's going to be a loss of 4. Back to the 17. And the Madison Mavericks, Roland, have taken a timeout here. We mentioned both these teams needing wins. This is the last preseason tune-up for the Canyon Cougars as they enter district play next week. Keeping it on the road, they'll travel to face Wagner up in Converse. The Madison Mavericks still have some time. They, after tonight's ball game, will stay here in Northeast Independent School District. Will take on the Brandeis Broncos before going into their Week 5 bye. And then, Roland, the Mavericks start their district schedule. Roosevelt, MacArthur, Churchill, Lee, Reagan, Johnson. It's the who's who of District 26-6A, the infamous district out of San Antonio.
Absolutely.
2nd down and 13 for Madison, moving left to right. Bat to pass is Hagen. Looking for a little screen here to the near side, has Tippin out of the backfield. Tippin crosses the 20 before being tackled by 36 Cole Seeley, the outside linebacker, and Madison will take another timeout here.
I think that'll be.
Oh, actually, Canyon taking
Canyon.
That timeout.
That's going to be their 2nd timeout of the half, and of course you want to take a timeout to get the ball back in the hands of Xavier Pettis and your offense, because there's still. I mean, we're looking at 3rd and 3rd and about 8. This.
It's going to be 3rd and 8, and my apologies. The last 2 timeouts have been Canyons and not Madison, which makes sense.
Absolutely,
Canyon, as you mentioned, trying to save some time, and so kind of a moment here between me and the Washington Bears. He was trying to tell me this, but I just wasn't speaking his language there.
If we'd only listen more, Ben, it's what our problem is.
Well, ain't that the truth? Ball at the 23. So we mentioned that district for Madison. Off to a slow start last year. That they started with 2 losses, ended up 4-7, made the playoffs with a 2-4 district record. So we used to think that district 26-6A, used to be 26-5A, was the big power out of San Antonio, but you're starting to see some of those powers shift.
Absolutely.
And you get into the playoffs now with 2 wins.
And it's chronological. These things will shift, over the years.
On 3rd down, handoff is faked. Hagen goes up the middle. The Cougars are there. Nothing doing, maybe even a loss. Back to the 22-yard line, and the Cougars will force a punt here with 51 seconds. I believe the Cougars have taken their last timeout. So, Roland, let's wind the clock back to about 3 minutes ago. The score was 23-10, and we were just thinking, are the Madison Mavericks able to go 2 for 1 here and extend the lead before the half? You get the block punt going for a safety, gives Canyon 2 points to make it 23-12. The short field after the safety, Canyon takes it in with time to spare, making it our score 23-19. You send your defense out to force the 3 and out, and here comes the punting team with 51 seconds left. Canyon has another opportunity to get points before the break.
And, at that point, what we just saw I've got to love it from Coach Muchagamba and his staff. The stops were pulled out. You've got to figure there's going to be that one big play that could spark things, and that's exactly what happened. And I'll go to that Eric Taylor block not too long ago for the safety.
See what happens here. Deep punt battles and deep receiving Rivera. Cougars come after it, almost get to it. It is an end-over-end short punt, goes to the far sideline, bounces into Cougar territory, and will go out at the 44-yard line. Check that. That's not the 44. That is the 47-yard line.
Right, so a little over half the football field to go for that Cougar offense to get to the end zone. 43 seconds left.
Punt of 31. And the Cougars, Roland, we've seen it, definitely enough time to do something here if you're Canyon. This offense is clicking. There is confidence on both sides of the football and rhythm as well. Rhythm's so important to this offense, and the Cougars definitely are in it.
And the Cougars with what you call Big Mo right now.
Ball to the far sideline. To the far hash. 3 receivers are that way, moving right to left. Fake the handoff. Perez will go up the middle across midfield. Takes the Mavericks with them. It's a nice gain on first down to the Maverick 47. Back to the line. Are Canyon on 2nd down and 4. They go to the far sideline on a hitch route. That's caught by Farr. Farr has the sideline and more across the 40 and the 35, and he's shoved out of bounds. Ball will be spotted at the 31. Nice pickup there by Canyon.
Cougars moving that football. We've been talking all night. Xavier with 14 carries, 98 yards thus far in the first half running the football.
24 seconds left in the half. Perez back to pass. Goes to his safety valve to the right side. That's Farr again. Farr takes it, gets as much as he can, and wisely gets out of bounds to the 27. Pickup of about 4 on first down. Stop the clock with 19 seconds.
And you're getting it in little chunks, but you're moving the football forward. That's all you need to do because you still plenty of time with 19 seconds.
Need more to have a more comfortable field goal. Out of the gun, Perez looking to the far sideline and lets it go on a slant route. Has his man across the 20. It's David Gonzalez who's tackled and flung forward to the 18. First down, Canyon now inside the red zone. Back to the line is Canyon. They'll take the snap and down it.
That's exactly what you had to do because you threw the ball in the middle of the field and the clock continued to run. So Xavier had to spike that thing to kill the clock with 13 seconds left.
It's a makeable field goal from here, Roland. It would be a 36-yarder for Martinez, and we have seen him boot this ball like a cannon. That ball is just jumping off of his foot. He has the wind to his back as the referees have stopped play.
Set the clock off to 10. I'm sorry. 10 seconds.
They take 3 seconds off this clock, and Roland, perhaps some home cooking here for Madison as they take 3 seconds off of that spike play. Smattering of boos from the far sideline making their way over. And I don't disagree with them. 2 receivers either way, 2nd and 10 from the 18. Trying to go in 10 seconds before the half. Back to pass is Perez, looking to the far sideline and rolling that way, keeping his eyes downfield. There's a flag. Perez has it. He dumps the ball as he's being wrapped up and thrown down. We'll see what the flag is. 3 seconds left on the clock. The ball goes incomplete. I don't think there's a receiver there. This might be intentional grounding, but that's not what the flag was thrown initially for.
Yeah, it seemed like the flag came out before Xavier got rid of the football.
Careful here, Roland. I'm sorry, is to beware of the 10-second runoff in the event that is the case.
Yeah, clock is down to 3. They're going to go ahead and bring the kicking team on.
This is going to be quick snap. In fact, we'll see where this ball is going to be spotted. The referee hasn't even made the call, but the Cougars field goal unit is up at the 30-yard line. Intentional grounding, the preliminary indication, as the referee is checking with Coach Blaine Peterson to see if he wants to accept, and Peterson's asking for his options here. Referees come in for the council.
I'll have to check the replay. I thought he had thrown the flag before Perez got rid of the football.
The Cougars are going to go quick snap here because the clock will be set to run, and the Cougars don't have any timeouts here. Curious here, Roland, there's 3 seconds. You still have time to go under center, take a snap, and spike the ball. The Cougars, though, Roland, because they spend so much time in the shotgun, they even take that play out of the shotgun. So you're playing with the clock there if you even try to down it because the ball just naturally going to take more time to get back to the quarterback. You talk to these coaches who spend so much time in the shotgun, and they don't want to risk sending a quarterback under center something they don't do over and over again. They do everything out of the shotgun. The referee still trying to talk this one over with Blaine Peterson as the math is in his favor. He gets to decide what to do. We have not gotten a preliminary ruling here on what the penalty is. Coach Muchagimba is asking, just tell me where the ball is going to be spotted because I got to get my kicker over there. The ball is spotted at the 28. The referee hasn't even made a call yet. Jacob Martinez, the kicker, is ready to kick this one. It'll be a 45-yard attempt. When that is back from the far hash, the referees are still figuring out what to do here with Coach Muchagimba. Referee hasn't even made his call yet, and I wonder if we will even get the privilege of that. And we won't. 45-yard field goal attempt for Jacob Martinez. Here comes the ref with his call.
It is intentional grounding.
Lost down, be third down.
I'm surprised there isn't a 10-second runoff. But that's in Canyon's favor there. 3 seconds left to go.
The holding foul was declined.
And that was the first flag that was dropped.
Ah, that's the one I saw.
The ball will be marked for play, and there's the whistle to go. Can they get the play off? They do. Snap back, kick up. It's drilled, and it is a line drive kick that goes through. He needed to kick a line drive. He did, Roland, and it was not the most aesthetically pleasing, but it did go through the uprights, and that kick is good.
Forget the aesthetics. Give me the points. That's a beautiful thing.
A 45-yard field goal attempt by Jacob Martinez is true to end the half. At the end of one half, it is Canyon trailing Madison 23-22. We played one half of play here at Hero Stadium. We'll step aside. When we come back, halftime coverage. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
What is the fastest land animal in the
It's a cougar. It's a cougar. It's a cougar.
Get to know our Cougars in a whole new way as they take the Cougar Challenge. Who do you think actually gave the Canyon Cougars their mascot? Fun questions will bring out the real competitors in this group. What's the math on that? Puma, mountain lion, panther, catamount, deer lion, they go on and on. How do you spell Coach Muchagimba?
Triceratops.
I bet Coach Mooch would appreciate that, huh?
And then burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
Cougars Network brings you Cougar Challenge every week, only on Cougars Football with Joe Muchagimba.
Please don't hate me if I get it wrong, Coach.
Ben Campos, Roland Ruiz with you, with Austin Backray-Milam, our spotter statistician. Our score at the half. It's been an exciting half here at Hero Stadium. Madison leading the Canyon Cougars 23-22. Canyon ends that half, by the way, 6 plays, 25 yards, 43 seconds off the clock. It ends in a 45-yard field goal by Jacob Martinez. Right now on the field, the Canyon High School Marching Band is prepared to show us their halftime show. The Aristocrats dance team will be out there as well, along with the color guard and twirlers. So we'll step aside here on halftime coverage to listen to the Canyon Cougar High School Band. Once again, your score is Madison 23, Canyon 22.
Band is under the direction of drum majors Katie Ocker, Jacob Dion, and Jordan Norris. CHS band president is A.J. Brown. Color guard officers are Megan Darte, Rebecca Pinnell, Caleb Vasquez, and Allison Winslow. The section of the week is the Baritones. Band members of the week, Aiden Fiegler, Teresa Lowry, and Daphne White. Color guard member of the week is Jade Carroll. Today, the band will be performing a pre-season spirit show for your enjoyment, featuring the songs Happy Together and Hey Baby. Sit back and enjoy the sounds of the Canyon Cougar High School Band. 2018 edition of the 14-time national champion Canyon High School Aristocats. The Aristocats are under the direction of Taylor Goodman and assisted by Kerry Brown. Social officers of the Aristocats are Cassandra Bublasis, Ava Ferguson, Aubrey Campbell, and the head social officer is Cassidy Franz. The dance officers are Junior Lieutenants Kelsey Gomez and Grace Warren, Senior Lieutenants Bailey Brooke, Shelby McGrath, and Madison Noble. First Lieutenants Talia Lopez, and the Aristocat captain is Melissa LeBron. The Aristocat of the week is Lauren Westbrook. Now sit back and relax as the Aristocats perform an entertaining call routine to All the Small Things. Thank you for your kind attention and enjoy the second half.
What is the fastest land animal in the... Oh!
It's a cougar. It's a cougar. It's a cougar.
Get to know our Cougars in a whole new way as they take the Cougar Challenge. Who do you think actually gave the Canyon Cougars their mascot? Fun questions will bring out the real competitors in this group. What's the math on that? Puma, mountain lion, panther, catamount, deer lion, they go on and on. How do you spell Coach Muchagumba?
Triceratops.
I bet Coach Mooch would appreciate that, huh?
And then burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
Cougars Network brings you Cougar Challenge every week only on Cougars Football with Joe Muchagamba.
Please don't hate me if I get it wrong, Coach.
Back with you at halftime from Heroes Stadium in beautiful northeast San Antonio, where our halftime score is the Madison Mavericks leading the Canyon Cougars by a score of 23-22. And what a first half it's been. We saw Canyon finish that first half with some momentum, with some zing. Already looking forward to the second half. But before we do that, hopefully going to get to pass along some halftime scores from some district teams and some games from around the area here in San Antonio this evening. And the first one we'll bring up is the San Marcos Rattlers, who we saw last week. They lead the New Braunfels Unicorns by a score of 35-24. That is a halftime score. As a matter of fact, most of these scores are going to be halftime scores at this point. Also, pass along the East Central Hornets on top of the Victoria East Titans by a score of 16-13. That as well a halftime score. It's Steele on top of O'Connor in a tight one, 16-14 at half. The Smithson Valley Rangers have a 23-3 halftime lead over Round Rock High School Dragons. That game being played in Smithson Valley. And also the Judson Rockets with a big 55-14 lead over the Roosevelt Rough Riders in San Antonio. So all of those halftime scores get you up to date with some scores involving our district teams. Of course, as we were mentioning, we're going to head into district next week with our first district contest as we will be taking on we're going to be a Wagner. I get my Wagners and my Warrens confused. I apologize. It's a W thing. Taking on the Wagner Thunderbirds. That will be in Converse at Judson Stadium. And right now, very special halftime feature we like to show you. This, of course, produced by very own Bo Wick and company out at Wick Productions. Something all about taking the Cougar Challenge. Brant Freeman standing by with the head coach of the Canyon Cougars, Joe Muchagamba.
Right now, it's time for this week's Cougar Challenge with Emily Wood.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Cougars Challenge. I have a great group of Cougars over here with me today, and they are really ready to get started. Guys, introduce yourself, please.
My name is Joseph Lucis. Connor Uno. I'm Chandler Uno.
Guys, are you ready to get started?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do this. So, on Sesame Street, there is one particular character who lives in a trash can. Who is that? Chandler?
Oscar the Grouch.
Good job. Oscar the Grouch is correct. Did you watch Sesame Street?
I did, yes.
Yes. Do you remember what color he was?
Blue.
Oh,
Green.
almost green. Who was blue? There was someone that was blue.
Who's that? Cookie Monster?
The Cookie Monster was blue. Very good.
Y'all
Good
watch
job.
that show?
With Chandler in the lead, we've got the next question. Guys, this will be a true-false question. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Cougar kittens are born with brown eyes.
True.
Sorry.
False.
That's false. Very good. It is false. Cougar kittens are born with blue eyes.
You didn't know that? Mm-mm.
Very cool. We have another true-false question. Proportionately to their weight, humans are stronger than horses.
False.
The answer is actually true. You know the saying, strong as a horse? I think we're going to have to change that to strong as a human. Humans are actually stronger compared to their weight.
I didn't know that.
Pretty cool fact, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So Chandler is in the lead, and one more question. Connor lost a point last time. Let's see if he can get it back. All right, boys. Only one NFL team that plays its home games in a dome has won the Super Bowl. Who was it?
Patriots.
Nope, not the Patriots. Anybody?
Is it the Saints?
Nope, not the Saints.
Cowboys.
Not the Cowboys. It was actually the 99 Rams.
Wow. I would have never guessed that.
There you go. Who's your favorite team?
Patriots.
Patriots, there you go. So today's bonus question is, who can spell Coach Muchagumba's name? First on the draw is Joseph.
Moczygymba.
Coach?
That's correct, Joseph. Very good. Nice job.
He had to think about it for a minute, but good job. So when the Cougars first became the Cougars, somebody had to name them. Who do you think actually gave the Canyon Cougars their mascot? Joseph, I think you've been elected.
Yeah. I do not know.
Chandler? The Cougars were actually named by the first set of seniors coming through Canyon High School. They voted and decided, Cougars. And that's how we got our name.
Wow, I didn't even know that. That's cool.
Very cool fact, right?
Yes, man. Still need a tiebreaker.
I know my Cougar history. So it was a first today. We actually couldn't even break the tie. So Joseph, Chandler, both. Good job, guys. Coach Brandt, back to you.
Go Cougs!
Well, those some interesting facts about Cougars. I'll give you another one. These Canyon Cougars are playing Madison this Friday, and after the break, we'll preview that game. Back with more of Cougars football with Joe Muchagumba in just a moment.
Ben Campos, Roland Ruiz with you with the Bandit Austin Milam, our spotter statistician. Our score at the break, Madison 23, the Canyon Cougars 22. It's been a game rolling. If I have to describe it in a song, I think of the Beach Boys' Fun, 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 and I hope Daddy doesn't take the T-Bird away anytime soon.
Very good. I like that analogy.
It's been a good one here. Again, 23-22, and Roland, as we look over halftime statistics, you could talk about a team that's balanced any way you want to slice it. If you want to talk about yards being balanced, you could use it that way. If you want to talk about number of plays that are called offensively, running and passing, you could think of balanced offense in that way. I like to think of it, Roland, is when you need to run the football, can you run the football? And when you need to pass the football, can you pass the football? And I think what we've seen out of the Canyon Cougars out of this first half is this is a balanced offense.
Absolutely. If you look at the numbers right now, 185 yards running the football, 109 in the air. I think the thing I like the most about what I saw in the first half that comes from Canyon is the fact that they responded. They responded to an early lead by the Madison Mavericks. I mean, they were down quite a bit more than 1 point at one point in the first half, but they managed to respond, cut the lead to within one. And like I said, they're finishing their drives. On a lot of their drives, they're actually getting them into the end zone. They're actually, like in the case of the field goal there to end the first half, they're putting points on the board. They're able to capitalize now on having possession of the football, and that's just been a great thing to see in their growth.
Never been down by more than 13, but they've been down 13 on several different occasions in this ball game. At one point down 23-10 before running off 12 straight points, kind of in weird fashion. They had the touchdown, field goals, and then a safety in there as well to give you our score 23-22. Looking over some more of these statistics, if we could, for Canyon, have some sort of a triple threat running the football, this offense is going to be fun to watch as 2014 unfolds, and that's what they're having tonight. Xavier Perez, 14 carries, 98 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Seth Haney, 9 carries, 54 yards on the ground. And Owen Worley, the third option out of that backfield, 5 carries, 33 yards. Roland, every one of these backs averaging at least 6 yards a carry.
And not only that, you want to know what's going to put a smile on Coach Muchagamba's face is the fact that the 3 of them are juniors. They're going to be back next year.
It's a smile on my face, Ron.
With a little more seasoning, knowing how to operate, knowing each other. It's a great thing, and we are seeing quite a nice triple threat coming from those 3 offensively.
Xavier Perez, the quarterback, 9 of 17 throwing the ball, 109 yards, does have the 1 interception. The Washington Bear and I were talking about that earlier. Not necessarily a bad pass. You just have to give credit to the defensive player there who stepped in front of it. Ball was caught simultaneously between the defender and the wide receiver, and the defender just wrestled it away.
I tell you, Xavier, to me, especially in this game, I've seen sparks of it in the first couple of games, but in this game, in this first half, his leadership is showing through out there on the football field. He's done a great job picking his targets wisely and not folding under pressure.
Sounds in the background, that of the Madison Maverick High School Marching Band. He is Roland Ruiz. I am Ben Campos with Austin Mapache Milam, our spotter statistician. Leading receiver for Canyons, Fabian Facundo, has 2 grabs for 48 yards. Statistically the leader, 41 of them came on that big play, converting the 3rd down for Canyon. And then you have Callan Farr, 4 catches for 27 yards. Interesting to note that we highlighted Trevor Pape in our open, and he has not had a target in this ball game.
However, there's still a half of football left to go. You never can tell what Coach Muchagamba has up his sleeve.
Our score at the break, Madison 23 and Canyon 22 to start the second half. The Madison Mavericks will be receiving the football, but Roland, not really worried about that. Canyon was able to cut into this lead, and we talked about the offense just now. The defense has played pretty well. You mentioned that lead ballooning for Madison. One, they did not let that lead balloon any more than 13 points, and they were asked to come up and make plays in tough spots, this defense, and they answered the call in that first half.
And they gave up the big play in the first half as well, the Cougar defense. Those couple of pass plays, those couple of long pass plays to put the early points on the board for Madison. However, the defense came back and responded. They adjusted, and that's the story of any good football game, any good football team. And I'm just looking forward to seeing, as we take a look down on the field right now and notice the Cougars back about to bust through their banner on the far side of the field. What adjustments were made at halftime? What did they take out of the halftime locker room? What are they going to bring to the field here in the 3rd quarter?
Cougars have entered Heroes Stadium. That'll be our cue to wrap up halftime coverage. Again, your score at the break, it's Madison 23, Canyon 22. We'll step aside on the Cougars Network. Welcome back to Heroes Stadium. 3rd quarter about to start. Beautiful night for high school football in the greater San Antonio area. We're Northeast Independent School District complex. You could see from the press box, I-35 not too far away, rolling traffic backing up. See a lot of red lights, and I'm happy we're not sitting in there and we're sitting here, entertained by a pretty good football game.
That's pretty much normal. I mean, any time of day out for that part of 35.
You know, if you lived in this area for quite some time, you've been told that the construction is supposed to help, and it just seems we've always been in construction.
Well, yeah,
I don't
know about helping. It continues quite a bit.
Always something going on in this ever-growing area, and Roland, Canyon has ventured across this area. We mentioned opening up the 2017 season in North Austin and Round Rock area, taking on a team there, then opening up Cougar Stadium in New Braunfels, and now here in San Antonio. I-35 Warriors, the Canyon Cougars, spanning the San Antonio-Austin Metroplex. 3rd quarter about to get underway. Madison has 2 receivers in deep receiving. It's Gill and Moore. Martinez sends this kickoff high to the far sideline. Moore has it. He gives the handoff to Gill once again on an end around. Going upfield, makes a cut back at the 20, and he is drilled. That little end around not really working against this Cougar kickoff coverage. It's good coverage, good discipline on special teams, Roland.
Yeah, you know, they've tried that almost every kickoff Madison has, and it hasn't really been that effective. Antonio de Leon that time from his special team slot making the stop for the Cougars. But it's what we've been waiting for, second half, and it's underway.
First possession of the second half for Madison, moving right to left. Cougars trot out their defense. It's a spread look for Madison, 2 receivers either way, tipping the running back to the left of Dante Higgins, the quarterback out of the shotgun. Takes a snap, gives it to Tippin. Tippin tries the right side. The Cougars are there to stuff it. Tippin falls forward out of the mayhem there. We'll get to the 24. It's a gain of 2 on first down.
Not much there. Stingy Cougar defense that time applying the stop.
Little substitution here for Madison. 2 receivers to the near, check that, to the far sideline, the boundary side. The receiver to the near sideline is Battles. Already has a touchdown to his credit tonight. Sends a man in motion. That's Moore, who settles in to the right side of Dante Higgins. High snap. Higgins gets it and gives it to Moore, who comes to the left side of the Madison offensive line across the 25 before being met by a Cougar linebacker. They'll spot it at the 37, and a third down opportunity here for Canyon.
Eric Taylor coming over to make the stop for the Cougars.
3rd and 5. Can Canyon force a quick 3 and out here to start the second half? Out of the gun is Higgins. Has it now, fakes the handoff, looking for a quick strike. That ball is delivered and knocked away at the last second. What a play by Zach Fansteel, deflecting the ball before he gets to Dion Moore, and the Cougar defense has held here 3 and out.
I don't know that Fansteel's reputation hasn't gotten around yet, but you don't want to mess with his side of the field. You really don't.
Nice defense there for Canyon, coming out with some energy to start this third quarter. Battles will retreat back into deep punt as he'll nestle in at about his 12, and deep receiving is Rivera at his own 35. Wind at the back of Battles. Takes this snap. It's a little low. Quick get off there. It's high end over end punt. It's going to be short. Bounce at the 40. Take kind of a Cougar bounce. At the 41-yard line, it'll be down. It is a punt of 32. No yards on the return.
And I tell you, once again, some good pressure coming on in that punt from the Cougars special teams.
They spooked him, Roland, for sure. They have spooked him.
And he's been rushing his punts, which is why he probably hasn't been able to get off, or he's been able to get off punts like he has.
First look at Xavier Perez in the second half. 9 of 17, 109 yards passing, 1 interception. Moving left to right, Cougars have the ball 1st and 10 at the 41. 2 receivers either way. Haney to the right of Perez for now. Perez shouts some orders to him, and Haney now moves to the left. Handoff given to Haney right up the middle. Got some good blocking by that Cougar line. Powers forward to the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on first down.
Good way to get an offensive drive started and to start the second half for Canyon.
Playing ahead of the chains here after that gain of 5 to the 46. Stay in this formation. Haney to the left of Perez, 2 receivers both ways. Sending the man in motion from left to right. That's Gonzalez. Fake it to Haney. Perez keeps across the 40, makes the initial man miss. But a couple of Mavericks are there, able to get ahead to the 47. Minimal gain there. Roland still manageable here on third down.
Absolutely. We were talking about adjustments in that time. The Madison defense keying on Xavier is coming over to make the stop. Jorge Rivas from his defensive line position.
3rd and 4 for Canyon. Ball at their own 47, moving left to right. Need to get into Maverick territory for a first down. Trips receivers to the left. That's the boundary side. Slap of the hands for Perez. Bet to pass. They fake it to Haney. They come back on a wide receiver screen, and they have something set up here, but Farr's unable to get out of the initial wave of Maverick defenders. Callan Farr is going to be dropped for a loss on a receiver screen. They thought Madison would bring pressure there. Roland, they didn't, and the screen was snuffed out.
And Keandre Diggs right in the right place at the right time to stop the Cougar receiver and thwart this drive for Canyon.
Jacob Martinez, unsung hero of this ball game so far, has some great punts and is 2 for 2 on field goals. Comes out to punt, standing at his own 31. Takes the snap and sends this ball high, end over end, takes a bounce and a Cougar bounce across the 30 to the 25 before being down at the 23-yard line by number 5, J.C. Robledo. It's a 31-yard punt, nothing on the return.
Now, as you notice that time on the punt, there have been no pressure coming from Madison. There was all day to get that punt away, which is allowing him to get his leg into the football and to move, be able to pin Madison down a little bit deeper in their territory.
Everything special teams-wise has played in Canyon's favor tonight, and that's resulting in pretty good field position for them. 1st and 10, Madison at their own 23. Back to pass, little curl route. They have the hitch and ladder worked up. Pass was completed to Battle as he pitches it back to number 3, Tippins, who came out of the backfield, the running back. The hook and ladder goes for enough for a Maverick first down now to the 33. Moving right to left, the Mavericks. Bat to pass, looking to the near sideline, pump fake, and Hagan is in trouble. Hagans goes down at the 30, late flag. Nice pressure there by the Cougars defensive front, and we'll see what this flag is.
That was James Bettis coming over. We talked about him a little bit before the game and what an influence he is on that Cougars defense, and you saw it right there, putting a stop on the Madison quarterback.
Hagan's going to come to talk to Coach Blaine Peterson on the near sideline. We'll see what this flag is. I think it's going to go against Canyon the way things are kind of falling down on the field here. Roland, I don't agree with this. It's a face mask penalty against Canyon. Now, Perez did go high on Hagan, and his hand did hit Hagan's in the helmet area, but I didn't see a grasp of the face mask.
Nor did I.
As it stands, 1st and 10, Madison at their own 49, knocking into Cougar territory. Pass short to the near sideline is Battle, and Battle got a block, and he's going down the sideline. Across the 25-20, pushed out of bounds. Touchdown saving tackle by McKay. They'll see where they spot him. I thought he was back at the 11, and the official has Battle out at the 7-yard line.
Wow, well, that was opportune. When McKay pushed him, it looked like he was able to maintain his balance and stay in bounds, but apparently stepped on that little white line.
At the 7-yard line, Madison quick to the line. Going right to left, looking for the opening score of this second half. Handoff to Tippin up the middle. Cougars are there. They stuff them at the line of scrimmage. Great tackle there by Martin Davis, the 5'10", 180-pound senior middle linebacker.
Good defensive pursuit that time by that Cougar front.
Referees come in to stop play as one of the Cougars has to exit here. Martin Davis last week versus San Marcos, 3 tackles, 2 of them come for loss. And a sack as Canyon has made some substitutions. Cole Seeley will sit this one out in favor of J.C. Robledo. Trips receivers to the top of the field. Bat to pass is Hagans. He's hit as he throws the ball, and that ball goes incomplete. Great pressure there up the middle by Canyon defensively to force that incompletion.
And I tell you what, Eric Taylor made him pay a price. He had to get rid of that ball quickly because here comes Eric Taylor just like a locomotive in on that Madison quarterback.
Crowd of about 5,000 here on hand, and not one of them blaming Hagans for getting rid of that ball early. 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line. Can Canyon get a stop here defensively? 2 receivers either way. Hagans gets a snap. He's rolling out to the right, keeping his eyes downfield with a pump fake. He'll tuck it a run, and he is upended. What a pursuit there by Canyon defensively. That's Davis once again from that middle linebacker position, and the Canyon Cougars have forced a 4th and goal.
Ben, but don't break. Tip of the cap to the Canyon Cougar defense. What a defensive series that time.
Graham Torres, the kicker for Madison, will attempt a field goal from 21 yards out on the left hash. Check that, the right hash. Good snap. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Graham Torres 3 for 3 today, kicking the football for Madison. He has extended the Mavericks lead. 7:27 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Our score, Madison 26, Canyon 22. You're listening to Cougars football on the Cougars Network.
the all-new Nissan and New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership, with an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge. With over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. The all-new Nissan and New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
7:27 left to go here in the third period. What could have resulted in a Madison touchdown. Instead, the Cougar defense holds Madison to only 3 points. And that first Maverick scoring drive of the second half. Still just a one-possession game for Canyon. Get right back into this one.
It's a sixth-place, 17-yard scoring drive for Madison, taking 1 minute and 15 seconds off of the clock. My mistake on the statistic going into that break. Torres is now 2 for 2, not 3 for 3 on field goals. Our new score, 26-22. In deep receiving for Canyon, McKay and Watanabe standing at their goal line. Torres sends this one. McKay takes it 2 yards deep, and he's going to come out of the end zone across the 10 and 15. Has some running room across the 25. Still on his feet at the 30, 35. And wrapped up, spun forward. Good return there by Vance McKay. Out to the 32-yard line. Good field position to start this drive for Canyon.
Again, good special teams play by Canyon. Great return by McKay to get the ball across the 20 and actually around the 35. Where they're going to spot this at about the 36-yard line?
My mistake. You're right, Roland. The 36. Perez will trot the troops out onto the field. Canyon moving left to right in their road jerseys. Red pants, white jerseys, and white helmet. Out of the pistol with Worley behind him. Clap of the hands. Worley will fake the handoff. Perez keeps it on the right side. Looks like he wanted to give the ball to Farr. It's a run-pass option, and Perez takes the run out to the 39.
Coming over to make the stop that time for Madison. That was that was Alonso Martinez.
Second down and 7, 2 receivers both ways. They fake it to Worley again. Now come to Farr, and Farr is met immediately, makes the catch, but I don't think he's going to get any yards. I think Isaiah Rivera missed the block that could have sprung Farr. Instead, Farr hit immediately. They're going to drop him back a yard to the 38, third and long.
And that time, Madison Sambarrasso just warded off that block and was able to make the stop on the Cougar receiver.
6.5 left to go in the third quarter. Madison on top, 26-22, but Canyon moving here. Ball at their own 38. 4 receivers to the left side of the field. Perez fakes it that way. He'll keep it on a design quarterback keeper. Makes a couple man miss at the line of scrimmage, but can't get past a Madison linebacker. Gets across the 40 to the 41, gain of 3, and Canyon will send out Jacob Martinez again.
That's right. That was Smizik once again, just clogging up the hole. I think this time what we're seeing from the Maverick defense is they're keying a little bit more on Xavier, and he's not being able to break away for the big gains he was able to get in that first half.
Martinez in deep punt. Moore standing at his 30. Martinez takes it. It's a high end over spiraling kick that turns over, sending Moore back to the 15-yard line as Canyon is there to down it before the ball is able to take a backwards bounce. It's a punt of 44 rolling inside the 20 to the 16.
So once again, great special teams play by the Cougars as they've got Madison pinned back at their own 15-yard line to start this offensive drive. And we'll see if the Cougar defense can generate some more momentum to pass along to the offensive side of the football.
Defense has been put into some tough spots here in the second half. Forced a 3 and out on the opening possession. Let Madison get into the red zone, but turn them away, let them settle for a field goal. We'll see what happens here. Out of the gun, Hagans tries the right side, and there's some running room there across the 25-30. Heads to the sideline, unable to push out of bounds across the 40-45. Cut back near midfield. Now into Cougar territory across the 45-40. Finally, zigzagging his way, he's brought back down at the 38-yard line. There's a flag rolling. I did not see this late, but there's a flag in the backfield back at the Madison Maverick 25-yard line.
You know what? It should be a hold, and I was seeing it on the far side of the field as Higgins was making his way down. They just caught one of them. I think I see about 3 or 4 different instances on the far side of the field from our vantage point.
Well, I was so lasered in on the zigzag movements of Dante Higgins that I did not see anything else that was going on, so good catch by you there.
And chances are that was why he was able to zag.
Should be 10 yards, rolling, I believe, from the spot, so we'll see where the spot foul was. They'll send Madison back to the 10. Spot the ball at the middle of the field, so here comes your very rare first down and 16 from the 10-yard line. Got to get to the 26. They fake the handoff, and Higgins is rolling here to the near side. Pump fake, turns the corner, has some running room across the 20, stays in bounds across the 25. Able to make chicken salad there rolling as he gets to the 31-yard line.
I know that expression.
Enough for a Madison Maverick first down.
Van Steel ran him out of bounds.
Check that, the 29. Still enough for Maverick first down.
Yeah, he's Hagen's very elusive back there for Madison. He's making things happen right now with his legs.
5:05 left to go in the third quarter. Madison with the ball and a lead, 26-22. Hagen out of the gun, gives it to Tippin, and the Cougars are there in the backfield. Dropping Tippin for a loss. I see 27, James Perez, the converted tight end, make an initial contact.
That's right. Also Cole Seeley coming over to kind of seal him off, no pun intended. But they're keying on the Maverick running back right now, which may be allowing Hagen's the quarterback to get just a little bit more freedom and make things happen back there offensively, which is what's been going on.
Second down and 13 for Madison, moving right to left. Send a man in motion, that's more. They fake it to him, and Hagen will keep up the middle. Makes a couple of man miss at the line of scrimmage across the 35. Flung forward to the 40. They needed to get to the 39. That's enough for Maverick first down.
Yes, indeed. Once again, Cooper Home over to make a stop for Canyon.
Now under 4.5 in the third quarter. Two receivers either way for Higgins. Has more to his left. Back to pass is Hagen. Stepping up in a pocket that's collapsing. He'll dump it to his safety valve. It's incomplete, intended for Travion Tippins, as we have a Cougar player that's down and a Madison Maverick that's down, and they are nowhere near each other. The Cougar player that's down is on the far hash at about the 27-yard line. The Madison Maverick down, I believe that's the quarterback, Hagen.
That's right.
Is in between the hash and the numbers at the 40. So perhaps rolling something at the beginning of the play and something at the end.
Could be, and we cannot see on the, I say only about the 27 on the far side of the field, who the Canyon player is that's down. Hagen back up under his own power. He's walking off the field. So saying that would be the way the second half has been developing for Madison. That would be a huge loss for the Mavericks.
The Cougar that's limping off the field with help from the athletic trainers is Cody Lees, the 5'9", 175-pound junior defensive end. So we hope he's okay. He needs two athletic trainers to take him out, but he is walking under his own power there, so good to see that. We make the transition back to live football and a backup quarterback, Michael Garza. The 165-pound sophomore quarterback has relieved Dante Higgins after Higgins goes out due to injury for at least one play. Garza takes a snap, hands the ball off to Tippin, and the flags come in to delay it.
Yeah, and we had movement, I believe, on the Madison offense, so this is going to back it up just a bit.
The play is not official, so Hagen still has to stay on the sideline as he's getting worked on by the training staff there. He seems to be doing exercises to loosen up his torso and that rib cage area on the right side of his body. Second down and 10 for the Mavericks, 4:08 left to go in the third quarter. Back up, sophomore quarterback Garza takes the ball, flings it to the near sideline, intended for Battle, and that ball is high. Jalen Battles, even though he stands at 6'1", that ball was just too tall.
Yeah, over his head, Facundo back there defensively for Canyon.
Hagen staying on the sideline, so Michael Garza stays in. Mavericks 0 for 7 on third down tonight, so that is definitely a high point for this Cougar defense, and they have an opportunity here on 3rd and 15. With the backup quarterback in, Garza, bat to pass, looking down the middle of the field, fires it, there's nobody there. Intended for Dion Moore out of the backfield down the seam. Garza threw it down the middle of the field, and the Madison Mavericks able to get away from their goal line, but ultimately they lose their quarterback and will have to punt here, Roland.
And as I look to the Madison sideline, I see Higgins was up walking around. He just recently took his helmet off here the last couple of seconds. He appears to be okay. We don't know.
We'll see. One thing to note, he does have his helmet, so that rules him as being in. So we'll just take it from there. And deep receiving is Isaiah Rivera, and the flags come in to halt play once again. A procedural penalty will be assessed against Madison. So whatever this punt's going to be, Roland, just take 5 yards away from the punter. That's one way to look at it.
And again, keep your eye on the special teams play for Canyon.
That is the 5th penalty against the Mavericks. Tonight's ball game, Canyon with 6 of their own. Battles has it. Ball almost blocked once again as Cougars had pressure on the edge. Rivera takes the ball at the 26, gets what he can, and goes down at the 28. That's a good job by Battles under pressure. Minimal steps, just sends it into the high San Antonio air. And
I tell you what, if you've watched any film on Eric Taylor, you've got to just be holding your breath if you're the punter back there and he's coming in on you. That's exactly what happened, and he just missed the block by inches that time.
Punt of 42, 3 on the return. Canyon, offense back out. 3:50 left to go in the third quarter. Handoff goes to Haney out of the gun. Tries the left side of the Cougar line. Has some running room there across the 30 before initial contact. Spins forward to the 34. Nice gain there.
Good, solid running. Seth Haney, good to have him back in the ball game.
Trying to find a rhythm here. Back to the line, the Cougars. Handoff is given to Haney. Haney with the head down and barreling forward, just straight up the gut, rolling. They like to say 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but this is more than 3 yards as he goes across the 40 to the 43. Good gain there. Gain of 9 to give the Cougars a first down. One receiver to the left, one to the right. They have 2 tight ends set. Perez fakes the handoff, tries the left side, trying to turn the corner, and is unable to. Williams Smizek making the tackle, but Perez able to get 5 yards there.
Yeah, he was able to pick up forward momentum, which is good, moves the football.
Unable to really turn the corner and get upfield. There was plenty of room there.
Yeah, certainly. They're keying on him. You could tell they're paying attention to Xavier that time and not letting him get away for the big gains.
2nd and 6, ball at the 47-yard line of Canyon. They fake the handoff. Perez will try the left side once again, trying to get to that midfield stripe. Battles forward. I think they're going to spot him to the Cougar 49, gain of 2, and another manageable third down here for this Cougar offense. Should be 3rd and 4.
Yeah, see, once again, keying on him, that was Jorge Rivas, who came over among a herd of Mavericks, I guess you can say, to put the stop on Xavier that time. But that's where they're paying attention. They know he's heard him before.
4 for 11 on third down, the Cougars offense tonight, 36%. 2 receivers out of the way, 2 tight ends set. They fake the ball to Haney. Perez keeps it on the left side, has some running room into Maverick territory across the 45. Again, Roland, it's a late decision on whether or not to keep it or hand it off, but it pays dividends for Canyon there.
And what do? Madison's got to know that one of them's going to hurt you. Whoever gets the football, you're keying on the other one, and that's how they're picking up yardage.
Fake the handoff to Haney on first down. Perez keeps, again, on the left side across the 40 to the 39. Should be a pickup of 3 to set up 2nd and 7.
I like it. It's methodical. You get it in little bits and pieces and kind of just move your way slowly to that end zone.
Nice rhythm to this offensive set. Handoff to Haney up the middle. Nothing doing there. Maybe 1 yard as a couple of Mavericks able to clog up the middle of the field. And another opportunity on third down, Roland, for this Cougar offense. not as manageable as it has been in the past. They get out of this 2 tight end set. 3rd and 6 from the Maverick 38-yard line. Perez back to pass, looking down the seam. The pocket collapses, and there's nowhere for him to go. They brought the blitz, and they got him. Threw Perez back to the 45, and the Madison Mavericks, a well-timed blitz to blow up that Cougar offensive charge.
Andre Riley leading the charge that time for the Mavericks to throw Bettis for a loss, and that's going to thwart the Canyon drive with a little over half minute left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Loss of 7. Martinez standing at his own 40. There's 28 seconds left in this half, now 10 on the play clock. Martinez sends his right foot into it. A beautiful punt, spirals, turns over, bounces at the 3, and takes a Cougar bounce. And by that, I mean bounce backwards away from the sideline. They'll mark it at the 8-yard line. Wonderful punt by Jacob Martinez. 37 inside the 10, nothing on the return. 14 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. My apologies, I said half not too long ago. It's the 3rd quarter. Madison with the ball up 27-22. Roland, as we close out this 3rd quarter here shortly, I can't wait to see what's in store for the 4th.
No, put on your seatbelts. We're in for a ding-dong dandy, as you like to say.
1st and 10, Madison, their own 8. Moving right to left. Out of the gun is Hagan. Has Tippins to the left. They give the ball to Tippins up the middle. Had some running room, but that closed quickly. What a tackle there defensively for Canyon. I believe that's Fansteel. Zach Fansteel from that free safety position.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Roland, there was a lot of running room there. That might have been a touchdown-saving tackle by Fansteel. That last play ends the 3rd quarter. We played 3 at Heroes. Our score, Madison 26, Canyon 22. You're listening to Cougars football on the Cougars Network.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor.
Ben Campos, Roland Ruiz with you, with Austin Batcray-Milam, our spotter statistician.
Is it just me, or does our statistician have more nicknames than Carter's got liver pills? I'm just wondering.
As they say, Roland, that is by design.
Oh, okay.
Starting the 4th quarter here at Hero Stadium. Madison up on Canyon 26-22. What a game we've had here in week 3 of high school football.
Oh, you ain't kidding. I think this is the game we've been waiting for. Canyon has looked good offensively. They just haven't been able to finish, as I have been saying, in the first couple of games. This game they finished. This game they're hanging in. So these next 12 minutes should prove to be very entertaining as well.
Again, Roland, we're wearing red socks up here, but give credit to the Madison Mavericks. They went into that locker room and made adjustments, and right now they've done a good job of halting Canyon's offensive drives. 2nd down and 7 for Madison from their own 11-yard line. Handoff goes to Tippins. He's got some room on the left side. Makes a man miss at the 15, dives forward. What a tackle there by Facundo at the 17, but enough for a Maverick 1st down.
You know, we didn't mention, but we will now, that Dante Higgins, of course, back in the game for Madison.
Point. They spot him to the 18. Fresh set of downs for Madison. They give the ball to Tippins up the middle again, and there's some running room. Across the 25-30, tackle made from behind by Eric Taylor before Tippins could really get out into the open. Spot it to the 36. Touchdown saving tackle by Eric Taylor. 1st and 10 Madison. They have rhythm now. Handoff, no, fake. Higgins coming to the near side on a quarterback keeper across the 40-45, still stepping out of tackles across midfield. Ball came out at the end, but Madison has retained possession. That's Dante Higgins into Cougar territory after the fumble recovery. Ball spotted at the Cougar 49, and Madison back up to the line again. 2 receivers both ways. Dante out of the gun. He'll look into the flat. Ball's caught by Gill. No, ball is out of his hands. Seemed to be a simple flare route that Gill just dropped.
On good coming over was Dallin Watanabe. And he kind of shook things up there defensively. If he could have gotten anywhere near that ball and picked it, he had the end zone in front of him.
It'll slow things down here for Madison. 2nd and 10 from the Cougar 49. Moving left to right now. Higgins takes the snap. Quick throw to the far side. That's Battles. Battles has it at the 36. Forward to the 30. Let's check that. The 45. Deeper into Cougar territory. I think they'll give him to the 43. Good passing grab there, but another 3rd down for the Cougar defense.
Facundo that time with a stop for Canyon. Big 3rd down right now for the Cougar defense, as you mentioned.
You need it here if you're Canyon. 3rd and 4. Now 10.5 left to go in this ball game. Higgins out of the shotgun. 2 receivers here to the near side. They give the ball to Tippins. Tippins trying that left side again, makes a man miss at the line of scrimmage. Across the 40, enough for a Madison Maverick 1st down. Across the 35 to the 31.
You know, just when I think that Tippins may be slowing down a little bit here in the second half, nothing doing. He slid right through to get the 1st down on that particular run.
Respot the ball to the Cougar 33. 1st and 10 Madison. Higgins has Tippins to the left, out of the gun. Takes the snap, fakes it to Tippins. Across the middle of the field, ball's caught. Across the 20 to the 15, inside the 10 on a little flare pattern, and finally finished off at the 5. That's Aiden Hoffman. We haven't heard much from Hoffman since he made that first touchdown of the evening, but he has Madison 1st and goal at the 5. Nice pitch and catch down the seam. 1st and goal. Out of the pistol now. Higgins hands the ball off to Tippin. Left side again, this time it's closed. The Cougars were there at the point of attack, and I think they're going to drop Tippins for a loss of 1.
That might have been Facundo coming over to make the stop. He was either Facundo or I can't tell if it's an 8 or De Leon, whichever. Big stop that time by the Cougar defense.
Washington Bear tells me to give Fanstiel credit as well. So he was in on that one.
Maybe that's where I got the 3 from.
His 2nd down and goal from the 6. Man in motion is Gill. They fake it to him from left to right. It's going to be Dante up the middle, and Dante Higgins has scampered into the end zone from 6 yards out. Touchdown, Madison.
Well, you knew he was a weapon, especially here in the adjustments made at halftime. Higgins has been, as a matter of fact, if you look at him right now, running the football. 11 carries, 56 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the night for Higgins.
Out of the swinging gate, Madison goes back into conventional PAT form. It'll be Torres out of the hold of Battles. The snap is down, the kick is up, and that kick is good. 9:20 left to go in this ball game. We have a new score. Madison 33, Canyon 22. We'll step aside. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
Well, I don't think so.
It's a good deal, right?
Coach, this is a 2538, 37 horsepower, most lift capacity of any tractor in its class, and no depth fluid.
Well, the best part is it's the right color.
.920 left to go in our ball game, and the Madison Mavericks back on the scoreboard. Dante Higgins taking the ball over into the end zone, running it effectively as he has done all second half long. The Mavericks build the lead up to 33-22 over the Canyon Cougars.
Thank you, Roland. That scoring drive for Madison, 10 plays, 90 yards, 2 minutes, 54 seconds off the clock. The difference was 1 point at the half, and so far in this second half, it's been 10 points from the Madison Mavericks. That bumps that lead up to 11. Still 2 possessions, still anybody's ball game with 9 minutes and 20 seconds left, but certainly room for error starting to get smaller and smaller for the Canyon Cougars. Ball teed up for Torres. Watanabe, the lone man back for Canyon. It's a short kick, high sky kick. McKay will take it at the 17-yard line. Coming to the near sideline with the blocker across the 30 to the 35. How is that not a late hit as McKay gets thrown out? I'm home cooking perhaps, Roland, if that call was on the Madison bench. But McKay was thrown out with vengeance, but no flag.
Yep, still nothing.
Canyon's offense needs to respond here, down 11 with 9 minutes and 16 left in this ball game. They'll open this possession with 3 receivers to the far sideline. Worley in the pistol set behind Perez. They give it to Worley, and Worley turns upfield and unable to break out of first contact. Contact made by T.J. Dowd. Good to see him back in the ball game as he left the ball game earlier due to injury. Worley able to get 1. If Owen Worley could develop into a nice change of pace second option out of that running back position, this Cougar offense is going to be fun to watch.
6 carries, 34 yards thus far on the night for Worley.
Trips receivers to the far side. Perez looking to pass. Pocket collapses. He'll tuck it and run. As he throws the ball at the last second, that ball is incomplete. Trying to hit somebody in the flat. Now everybody was coming to the near side. Perez was rolling to the far as he just tries to avoid disaster there. 3rd and 9 for the Cougars.
It looks like that secondary of Madison is just covering, not going to say blanketing, but certainly in the vicinity of the Cougar receivers.
Can Canyon do something here? 8:30 left to go. They need this on 3rd and 9. Back to pass, Perez. Looking to set up a receiver screen. They give it to Worley. Has some running room across the 40 and some blockers. Trying to turn upfield is the hammer to the nail at the 45, but Roland, I don't think he got enough for the first down. Needed to get to the 45. They'll spot it at the 46. Decision time for Joe Muchagimba. What do you do here, Roland?
Yeah, well, still plenty of time with 8:15 on the clock, but you figure you're just about at midfield. I think I'd do what Coach Muchagamba's doing right now, and I'd roll the dice.
Out of the pistol on 4th and 1. The Cougars will give the ball to Worley. No, they fake it. Perez trying to make his way back to at least the line of scrimmage. The Madison Mavericks have bottled this up. It's going to go down as a loss of 1 and a turnover on downs. Roland, that doesn't tell me that Joe Muchagimba trusts his offense as much as him trusting his defense. The Cougars didn't get this, and now the Cougar defense has been set out in a tough spot.
Well, I tell you what, that Maverick defense is just collapsing right in the middle of that line, doing everything to prevent that run. It's almost like they're gang tackling the Cougars' backs and quarterback at this point, just to bottle things up and shut that run down, and they've been very effective doing so here in the second half.
1st and 10 Madison on the turnover on downs. They'll start this possession at the Cougar 44. Hagan out of the gun. Design quarterback keeper to the near side. Cougars trying to spring it out. Across the 40-yard line is Hagan's. He'll go out of bounds at the 36.
Van Steel put him, threw him out of bounds that time for Canyon. But I tell you what, Hagan's has been using stringing the ball out and trying to catch that corner very effectively at running the football.
A lot has not been said about the blocking we've seen on the outside by both of the receiving corps. When either quarterback has gotten to the outside, there's been plenty of running room. 7:48 left to go in the ball game. 2nd down and 2 after the gain of 8. Hagens takes it, gives it to Tippin. Tippin has some running room up the middle, slips the tackle at the 30, and Tippin, oh, I thought the ball came out. That's Tippin's shoe.
That was his shoe.
Across the 20 to the 15. I think they'll spot him shy of the 15 at the 17, and Tippins will have to come out of bounds.
First step so quick, he stepped out of his shoe that time. He hesitated there for just a minute, and once he did that, the Canyon defense collapsed in on him, and he was able to find a hole and take it up the middle for several more yards.
1st and 10 Madison at the Cougar 17-yard line. Coach Muchagimba electing to go for it on 4th and 1 because he trusts this defense to get him the ball back. They need a stop on 1st down. Handoff will go up the middle. That's 23, Christian Hernandez, the relief back in his first touch of the ball game. Up the middle, pick up a 5 to the 13.
Eric Taylor with the stop that time defensively for the Cougars.
Tippins has his shoe back on and is in the game to the left now of Dante Hagan. Hagens will come back next year for the Madison Mavericks, only a junior. No sense of urgency here. Madison still out on the field. Play clock is at 11. Game clock ticking now to 6.5. Play clock at 6. 5-4. He's got to go here. Hagens down to 2. Handoff is given to Tippins. Tippins with a sidestep at the 5. Late flag as Tippins goes into the end zone. Flag down at the 15. I don't want to jinx it, Roland, so I'm not going to say anything.
It's
Washington Bears saying it's against Madison.
I think it is, yeah.
On the offense, 10 yards.
I was going to say it's in the spot where holding usually occurs, and that is the indication.
And that was it. That was it indeed.
Assess the 10 yards against Madison. And the ball should be spotted at the 23-yard line. And change it to 2nd down and 16. So some breathing room here for the Canyon defense. One, it stops the clock at 6:22. Play clock now down to 15. So Cougar defense able to catch their breath. 2 receivers either way out of the gun. Hagen with the snap. Gives it to Tippin. Tippin makes a man miss as he's juking his way left and right. Wow, Tippin is going to the far side of the field now. 15, 10-5. Dives for the pylon. Did he get it? No, he stepped out of bounds.
You know, that juke to the outside is what got it for him that time.
Which one? There was 2.
Take your pick.
You're right. Take your pick in that situation. He avoided tackles at the line of scrimmage and then on the edge to get to the outside. 1st and goal, Madison at the 2. Tippin will take it up the middle. Cougars are there to stop him. Unable to get a good head of steam. The Cougar defensive front stops him. 2nd down and goal. No gain. Ball spotted at the 2. And wholesale changes here for Madison offensively. They'll bring the wide receivers out and put in some beef. Tight end set is strong right, and I believe they have 2 tight ends on that right side. The near side stands, people on their feet, stomping, making noise for this Madison offense. The play clock has just been resetted, now showing 20 seconds. 5.5 on the game clock, still running. So Madison sniffing the end zone and also wanting to bleed as much time as they can.
They're looking at the sidelines, and Madison keeps adjusting. They're sending people to different sides of the offensive line right now, like there's some confusion.
It's a jumbo package. Play clock down to 1. They get it. Tippett tries the left side. The Cougars stuffed it at the 3-yard line. What a play defensively for Canyon.
Huge defensive stand that time.
Again, no sense of urgency for Madison. They are up. They are looking for a play. There's 27 seconds left on the play clock, 4:50 and counting on the game clock.
Big defensive stop that time by Fansteel once again.
You could almost do a minute of play here if you let the 40-second clock tick all the way down.
And that's probably what they're doing, is eating time.
Back to the line now with 5 on the game clock. They got to get something going here. Coach Peterson, I think, is just going to let it go down to 1 and call timeout. There is miscommunication going on between that coaching staff and the quarterback. And I can tell you one, Roland, we talked about new coach who just came in March. You know there's going to be hiccups just trying to install a new system. One, it's a system that wants to go up-tempo, and now you're slowing it down, and it doesn't help having your home fans making a lot of noise while you're trying to communicate.
That's true. Sometimes that can be detrimental. You certainly want the home crowd behind you, but hey, just to pass along a couple of scores.
Please.
New Braunfels has come back on San Marcos. They're up 45-35 with 8:13 left to go in the 4th quarter.
What a game.
Another score to pass along. It's East Central on top of Victoria East, 30-20. They're just underway, 4th quarter there. Smithson Valley all over Round Rock, 50-10. There's a little under 6 minutes left to go there in the ball game. And this final, Clemens over, oh, well, of course, that was from last night. Clemens over Alexander, 52-0.
Out of Laredo, Clemens, nice to have them back in the San Antonio area. Reset the stage here, 3rd and goal. 4:24 left in this ball game. Handoff goes to Battle on a wide receiver jet sweep from right to left, and Canyon is there. What a tackle by Zach Fansteel once again. Stringing out the run by Battles, and I think Madison is going to send out their field goal kicker.
You know, Fansteel just likes to hit. That's one thing. He's made some very, very impressive stops in tonight's ball game.
Torres on to attempt a 22-yard field goal out of the hold of Jalen Battles. This will extend the lead to 14. Still 2 possessions. Torres is set. Play clock down to 5. Snap back, hold down, kick up. That kick is good. Cougars had pressure off the edge, just unable to get to it. 3:33 left to go in the ball game. Our new score, Madison 36, Canyon 22. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
Did you ever play Tetris as a kid?
Yes, I did.
Watch out.
I couldn't find a chain for you guys, but I got my necklace from the car.
It's starting to feel like a home. Welcome to your new house.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot believe they turned that into a house.
Watch FYI, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 132. GVTC, just plain.
Well, 3:33 left to go in this one. From Heroes Stadium, Northeast San Antonio, Madison just converted on another field goal to extend the lead out to 14 as they lead the Canyon Cougars 36-22. And as we mentioned, late in the fourth quarter.
It's an 8-play scoring drive for Madison, covering 39 yards, and most importantly, Roland, 4 minutes and 14 seconds off of the clock. It was get the first downs and sit on it type of mentality, and when you got a running back like Tippins and you got a running quarterback like Hagens, it's a luxury the Madison Mavericks could afford.
Ball control and clock control. They worked it very well on that last offensive possession.
Another sky kick for Torres that sends Watanabe, fields it on a hop at the 20 and ahead of steam. Shy of the 30 is where the ball will be spotted. They avoided Vance McKay this time, gave it to Watanabe on the far side of the field. We mentioned Torres, Graham Torres, the kicker for Madison, 3 for 3 tonight on field goals. Roland, those field goals come from 23, 21, and 22 yards out. What that tells me is this Canyon Cougar defense, when pushed inside the 5, has pushed back, kept Madison out of the end zones on those 3 possessions, and make them settle for the short field goals. 1st and 10 Canyon, moving right to left, ball at the 30. Down 2 possessions, 36-22. Send a man in motion, that's Kylan Farr. Bat to pass is Perez, looking for Farr on a little wheel route, caught at midfield or just shy of midfield. Kylan Farr, they put him in motion and then send him down the sideline. Enough for a Cougar first down at the Cougar 48.
Nice comeback way to turn his body back and look at the football and leap up in the air and bring that one home. Great catch that time by Farr.
Gain of 18 for number 18. Back to pass on first down to the far sideline. Pass is caught and out across midfield to the 49. I believe that's Farr once again.
That is Farr once again, yes.
So that's a gain of 3. Clock stops at 3:07. 2 possession ball game, need touchdowns on both. Haney now to the right of Perez. 2 receivers to the far sideline. Perez back to pass, surveying the field. Keeping his eyes downfield, steps up into the pocket. Coming to the near side now, throws the ball downfield, and that ball is high, intended for Lane Young. In coverage once again is Diggs. And Roland, 3rd down opportunity for Canyon, 3rd and 7. But big picture, you know this is 4th down territory, so perhaps you don't need the 7 here. Something of 5 and 4 would set the table nicely.
That's true. This definitely 4 down territory, and with just under 3 minutes left to go in the ball game, you take all of your opportunities.
From the far hash, out of the gun. Haney to the right. He'll stay for pass protection. Back to pass is Perez. Under duress, he'll come to the near sideline, trying to direct traffic. Fires downfield. Lane Young has it across the 30. He is drilled at the 31. What a play by Perez, keeping his eyes downfield and directing Young to get open.
Super heads-up play that time by Xavier.
1st and 10 Canyon. Quick to the line. Perez has it. Run pass option to the far sideline. It's Farr. Farr across the 30 makes a man miss to the 25. Out of bounds at the 24. Stops the clock with 2:40.
Farr very instrumental in his drives. As a matter of fact, 153 yards in the air tonight for Xavier Perez and the Cougars.
Two receivers to the far sideline, ball on that far hash. Slap of the hands for Perez, bat to pass, little out route. Ball is in and out of the hands of Trevor Pape. That's the first target I've seen for Pape in this ball game. They needed it there, just out of his arms. And Roland, looked like there was 2 Cougars in that area.
Led him just a little bit too much on that one.
3rd and 2. Again, 4th down territory for the Cougars. Ball at the 24. Going in. They fake the handoff to Haney, and Perez will get upfield enough for a Cougar first down, just shy of the 21, needed to get to the 22.
That'll stop the clock and move the chains.
Clock at 2:30 now running as the Cougars are trying to settle down here. Going in, ball at the 21. 1st and 10, Canyon. Haney now to the right of Perez. 2 receivers to the near sideline. Perez looking on a little slanting to go. Has the plump fake. Goes to the back corner of the end zone.
They got
and the flag is down.
They got interference.
It's now, here's the thing, Roland. Who's the interference going to be on?
Well,
Sam Barrasso is saying that Facundo made contact first, or at least initiated the contact and went down. This is a very, very critical call.
Let's see what this is. You know, to me, the guilty always speak the loudest. But
what's that line from Shakespeare? He doth protest too much, I believe is what you're saying.
Well, very astute there, Ben. I wasn't quite.
We'll see. Here's the call from the referee. The Cougars offensively are not moving back. A couple of things come into question there, Roland. Was the ball catchable, and who made contact? But both of those questions were answered in favor of Canyon.
It looked like Barrasso maybe even inadvertently tripped Facundo that time.
Penalty gives the ball Canyon 1st and 10 at the 6. Moving in, down 2 possessions. They fake the handoff, goes for the slant route to Facundo, in and out of his hands, no flag this time. Ball goes incomplete.
But that one hit him in the hands. That's one Fabian has got to pull in.
Fabian playing both ways, Ironman football. I just asked the question, how much is in his legs at this point in time? He doesn't look tired, but it just wonders in the back of your mind. 2:07 left to go in this ball game. Canyon down 14, needs 2 touchdowns, and they need them here. Haney to the left of Perez. They fake it to Haney. Perez keeps, tries to go up the middle, spins out of the tackle at midfield, plowing forward over the 5-yard line to the 3, and he is down. Clock continuing to go now under 2 minutes. 3rd and goal as the Canyon Cougars have elected to take their first timeout of the second half. Let's reset the stage here, Roland. 1:57 left to go. Madison on top, 36-22, 14 points, 2-possession ball game. You need the touchdown and extra point on both. And the Cougars with the ball, 3rd and goal at 3.
Well, the tail of the tape right now, Ben, is that Madison has outscored Canyon here 13-0 here in the second half.
It's been a big difference.
From a 1-point deficit going into the locker room, you thought the Cougar, because they were going in with momentum, you thought they were going to come out and probably be able to apply some of the same momentum offensively in the ball game. However, Madison has made adjustments and has come out and, like I said, scored when they needed to and held Canyon when they've needed to.
Madison attempts their extra points out of the swinging gate. They tried to go for 2 on the second score of the game, and they did not get it. So that is the looming point that would have made it a 15-point game in this scenario, but it's only 14, so Canyon can afford 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points. 3rd and goal. Perez takes a direct snap. Quarterback keeper all the way, trying to turn forward. He gets to the 1, but is turned away from the goal line. The Cougars will have to be quick up to the line once again. And Roland, I think you just go one more time with Perez. Quarterback keeper all the way.
That's it.
We'll see. 140 now and ticking for Canyon. Joe Muchagimba not electing to take a timeout here. Cougars very casual back up to the line. 4th and goal from the 1. Out of the gun. Perez takes it, fakes it to Haney, rolls out to the right, heaves it into the end zone. That ball is in and out of the hands of Trevor Pape and falls to the ground. Roland, everybody thought it would be a quarterback keeper. They fake it, roll Perez, and just couldn't make the connection to Trevor Pape.
Well, we have an injured Madison Maverick down in the end zone right now.
In the A in Northeast. Spelled out in the end zone.
Yet another. Now, the pass here again appeared to hit Pape in the hands. From my vantage point, I couldn't see just how close it was, but it's those kind of passes, that one, like the one to Facundo just a little earlier, that you've got to pull in. I mean, it's critical, and it's with what we got about 80 ticks of the clock left to go in tonight's ball game, and let's see, Canyon down to 2 timeouts.
Well, here's the interesting thing, Roland, as Madison will get the ball and the Madison defender is up.
That's a good sign.
That's 7, DJ Dotson.
And, you know, DJ's played a whale of a ball game.
Yeah.
So we've called
Special
his name quite a bit, so tip of the cap to that young man.
Here's the scenario. Madison with the ball, 1:20 left to go. Canyon has 2 timeouts, but Madison has the ball at their own 1-yard line, which means you cannot just simply kneel the clock out. 1, Canyon has 2 timeouts, so they won't let you. And 2, Madison has run everything out of the shotgun, so that would be a safety kind of automatically there. It begs the question, Roland, what happens here? Purposely taking the safety is an option here to give the ball back to Canyon. That would just make it a 12-point game. Fake the handoff. Higgins will go to the left side. He has plenty of running room. Across the 25-30. Last man to beat is Cooper Holm, and Cooper can't catch him. Into Cougar territory, 40, 30. Say goodnight to Dante Higgins. The nail in the coffin in this game is a 99-yard touchdown run.
I hate to say that's exactly what I was afraid of, but that's exactly what I was afraid of. They've dominated running the football all second half long, and Higgins has just been a spark plug.
Cougars sold out for it, and Dante Higgins just made them pay. A game's worth of rushing yards on one play extends the Maverick lead. Torres on to make this a 21-point contest. Out of the hole, the battles. His kick is up. The kick is good. 1:06 left to go in the ball game. Madison 43, Canyon 22. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
Experience the best seat in every ballpark with MLB Network Strike Zone. Catch baseball's biggest moments from around the league live on one channel.
You gotta be kidding me.
See the clutch hits.
It's a goner.
Great grabs.
Unbelievable.
And walk-off winners.
Game winner.
All without changing the channel.
Let's go home.
Bring home MLB Network Strike Zone. Tuesday and Friday nights, commercial-free all season long.
Minute 6 left to go in tonight's ball game from Heroes Stadium in Northeast San Antonio, and we've just seen the Dante Higgins show in what he has spotlighted here in the second half for the Madison Mavericks. What a job. I tell you what, running the football, that was 99 yards left from the one.
Well, that's your scoring drive summary right there.
One play, 99 yards, all number one, running that football. Dante Higgins, as a matter of fact, running the football tonight, 13 carries, 163 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Throwing the football, not so bad either. 14 of 24 for 269 yards and 2 scores.
Roland, it's unofficial, but Dante Higgins covered about 104 yards of turf in 14 game seconds. And
the young man is quick.
Well, there's
that's
that,
an understatement.
and it's not as the crow flies. It was bobbing and weaving. This pooch kick comes to McKay, who takes it at the 18, cuts back to the middle of the field, and is unable to shake free of the pursuit man, unable to get to the 25-yard line. That's Deshaun Higgins, the younger brother of the quarterback Dante, making the tackle on special teams.
Saw his name on the roster. I kind of figured.
It's not up to me to assume, but I just did.
Yeah.
They spell it interestingly. We've been pronouncing it Higgins as Haygins, but they spell it Heaggans. Higgins. 59 seconds left to go in this ball game. Canyon takes over, 1st and 10 from their own 23. Will not go quietly into this San Antonio night. Continue to fight on. Perez to the far side, flings the pass in and out of the hands of Rivera, and it's just been that type of night, Roland. Plenty of running room out there, and the ball's dropped.
Well, it's been that kind of a half, really. I think in the first half they would have converted that.
That is an excellent correction. It was a well-played first half of football, but has been the theme trying to finish things this year in 2017, and the second half was different than the first. Handoff to Haney on the right side across the 30 to the 35. Good run by Seth Haney on 2nd down and 10. Enough for a Cougar first down with 46 seconds.
I do love to see Seth run that football. He runs it with authority.
Spotted at the 36. Ball to the far sideline is thrown to Farr. Farr makes a man miss at the line of scrimmage, goes forward, will get out of bounds. Across the 40, spot him at the 41. Good pass and grab by Farr.
That's the third time I've seen Farr come up with a catch. What do they refer to it as? Yak, yards after catch?
Yeah.
Great job that young man has done.
Back to pass Perez on 2nd down. Slant route hit the hands of Rivera, and the ball is dropped. And, you know, there's 2 on this position for Rivera already, plus a muff punt. And, you know, these are just things that will have to be ironed out for the Canyon Cougars going into next week's district contest. But you got a quality opponent on the other side of the football as Haney will take the ball on the right side, makes a man miss at midfield and dives forward to the 48. Now 22 seconds, and the clock will continue to run after the ball is spotted. Canyon back to the line now in Maverick territory at the 48. Ball to the far sideline is caught. I believe that's Farr across the 40. It's a good block there from Rivera. And we'll get out of bounds, stopping the clock at 9 seconds. Mentioned the Madison Mavericks will stay here in Northeast, take on the Brandeis Broncos. If you're a fan of alliteration, you have one tonight, you'll have one at that game as well.
Excellent point.
Before going on their bye and taking another alliteration game with the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Bat to pass, Perez moving to his right, directing traffic again, and that ball is delivered to Farr. He makes a catch at the 25. Ball pops out at the 15-yard line, picked off in midair by Madison. Coming to the near side is 9, Sam Barrasso. And Barrasso goes down at the 19. The final seconds go off the clock, and that will be the final play of this game. Our final score from Heroes, Madison 43, Canyon 22. You've listened to Cougar Football on the Cougars Network.
Flimsy microwave bacon tastes, but Wendy's oven-baked bacon tastes. Add it to fresh, never frozen beef, and you've got a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. A JBC with 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink is what makes Wendy's 4 for $4 so deliciously different.
The wait is over. Chip and Jo are back with more Fixer Upper. I love you.
You ready to do this?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. You slayed it.
Whoa!
You killed it.
This is amazing.
Yes!
Fixer Upper, Tuesday night at 9, only on HGTV.
Watch HGTV, GVTC, Digital Cable Channel 578. GVTC, just plain smart.
If you bank at Frost, we'll help keep your money safe. If you use your Frost debit card, the chip will make it more secure. If there's a suspicious transaction on your card, you'll get an alert. If you do, you can freeze your card with the Frost app. If you lose your phone, Touch ID login will help keep the app secure. Of course, if all you need is help from people who care, we've got that too.
Welcome back to Heroes Stadium. Post-game coverage now on the Cougars Network. Ben Campos, Roland Ruiz with you, with Austin Mapache Milam, our spotter statistician. The Canyon Cougars fall tonight to the Madison Mavericks 43-22. Roland, again, the Cougars will go back to Canyon High School, and tomorrow they'll come back to watch the film, and what they will watch is a game tape of a team that is improving on both sides of the football and in the kicking game. But it's a strange thing. As they get closer to where they want to be, it seems to me like some of the blemishes start to become a little bit more clear. Now, that might be a good thing for the coaching staff, able to point out and see these are the glaring things, but they've cleaned up a lot of things, still have a lot of work to do.
You know, one thing you mentioned tonight about the Madison side of the football, they're trying to adjust to a new coach. They're trying to adjust to his system. Now, the same in essence can be said on the Canyon side of the football, as they're trying to adjust to a new offensive coordinator. And that may be the reason, maybe things not in sync, maybe things not cemented down yet. But as you were mentioning, you do see signs of improvement. They've improved in the second week versus that opening game. And then in this week, they played a half of football where they were still in the game. So, you know, you've got to take that and run with it and be optimistic as to what you're going to see for the next several weeks.
Won the kicking game tonight, was 2 for 2 on field goals, and got a non-offensive score, a safety that ended up putting a punctuation mark towards the end of the first half. And Roland, you have some scores from around the area as we wrap up week 3 of high school football.
Absolutely, and let me pass a few things along to you. It is, let's see, the latest I have. I don't think I've gotten an update quite yet from the New Braunfels contest. However, let me back that up. It is a final. I just got that in. Oh, correction. Wrong score. Wait a minute. No, here we go. New Braunfels over San Marcos. I'll get it figured out eventually. I've blind in my left eye and can't see out of the right one. New Braunfels over San Marcos 54-42 tonight. Big win for the Unicorns. Some other finals to pass along for you this evening. Smithson Valley on top of Round Rock 50-10. Big win for the Rangers. Judson defeated Roosevelt by a score of 62-21 this evening. And some other scores of games still in progress. Just under 2 minutes left. East Central holding on to a 7-point lead over Victoria East. That one is 37-30.
Good night in district tells you how tough this district is, as there's a lot of W's being posted. The New Braunfels Unicorns undefeated, as we will see them in the Worst Bowl in 2 weeks. Let's go over just some final game statistics. It was a hard-fought game played on both sides. Canyon, 437 yards of total offense, 258 on the ground, 179 through the air. Improvement on both sides of the ball from the previous 2 weeks. You like to see that. Xavier Perez, 25 carries, 130 yards on the ground. Seth Haney, 15 carries, 94 yards, unable to break the 100-yard barrier. And Owen Worley adds 6 carries for 34 yards. Let's give credit where credit's due here, Roland. And Dante Hagens, the quarterback for Madison, 14 of 24, 169 yards and 2 touchdowns throwing the ball, 163 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns running the ball. He is the big story of tonight's ball game.
Absolutely, and you just got to tip your cap and applaud the young man and realize that you've seen quite a talented football player on a Friday night. And after all, sometimes that's what it's all about.
Once again, your final score from Hero Stadium: the Madison Mavericks 43, the Canyon Cougars 22. With the win, the Mavericks improved to 1-2 on the year, and they will take on the Brandeis Broncos next week here in Northwest Independent School District. With the loss, the Cougars fall to 0-3, and the Cougars will start district play next week against the Wagner Thunderbirds. We will be on the road here on the Cougars Network, though not so far down I-35, as we will be in Converse. The Wagner Thunderbirds and the Canyon Cougars pregame coverage will be at 7:15 kickoff, 7:30 here on the Cougars Network. Once again, your final score: Madison 43, Canyon 22. Now, from our broadcast partner this evening, Roland Ruiz, for The Governor, Austin Milam, our spotter statistician. For our camera crew working tonight's ball game, Jenna Creel, Fred Fraga, and Lois West, I am Ben Campos, wishing you a good night and a safe drive home from Heroes Stadium in San Antonio, Texas.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, Frost Bank, Nissan of New Braunfels, Wick Productions, Ashley, Zaxby's, and Texas Tractor Country.